now.
Okay.
It
Well,
needed the reboot.
oh, you had to reboot it.
Yeah.
Well, how's everything going? Glad we've done 200 days now, and it's the last 200 days have been beautiful.
Yeah.
How are you? How are the 200 days been going for you?
I actually just changed my life. So
Really?
it's really, yeah, like I haven't told anyone about it yet. Um, but this was maybe a week ago. I decided I would change my life. So, I've always said to you guys, uh, the most productive people kind of tend to be mopey, grumpy son of a bitches, like great writers. They're tearing their, bodies apart. They're just like the people that are driven to greatness oftentimes are driven there by necessity because they just otherwise feel terrible. And I know that there's this class of people that can be productive while being joyous, while enjoying the path and all that. So I had a wonderful, amazing experience. I can't go into details, but let's just say the best. Like so good. Just like just like
Wow.
just fucking
All right.
unbelievable, right? And then I was depressed after. And I thought, well, that's it, buddy. It doesn't get any better than this. So if you're depressed now, you're fucked up. And changing reality is
Yeah.
not going to fix that. So, and I've trained as a life coach and I have the skills to manage my state and I know the things that if you do them, they work. The question is, are you in the habit of doing them? I've lost 50 pounds
Right.
here, 60 pounds there. I am losing a little now, but it's not whether you know a thing or not that changes your life. It's whether you are consistent. The
Mhm.
consistency is all that matters. Every diet works if you do it consistently. Every workout plan works if you do it consistently. And what people don't realize is like the reason that your YouTube channel is successful, much more successful than I believe anyone else in the HEX ecosystem, is because you do it every fucking day. You're
Yeah.
consistent. You've never missed a day. You did a live stream after a 24-hour live stream. Like you did your normal scheduled live stream after a fucking
I had
24-hour
to. I
live
had
stream.
to.
That's amazing. That's amazing, right? So, I decided because it's always been in the back of your head, you're like, I could be happy and cheerful if I wanted to be, but I just don't want to be, right? I could be fit and healthy if I wanted to be, but and everyone, and it's the truth. Like everyone really could, right? Like to think
Right.
about it, to lose weight, you just have to stop shoving stuff in your face. The weight
Yeah.
will go on its own. You don't actually have to change anything at all. You just need to consume less calories. People don't understand how strong calories are. If you have an extra 2 sodas a day, just 150 calories a day, I think you end up weighing 40 pounds heavier forever, is where that works out.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, so if you go
Yeah.
to wolframalpha.com, which is a really cool website where you can do calculations of just about anything, and you type basal metabolic rate, BMR, basal metabolic rate, you put in your age, your gender, and your activity level. Everyone thinks they're active. Ain't
Oh
nobody
yeah.
active.
Yeah.
We're
No.
sitting around. Um, you see, like me, I'm probably burning like 2,000 calories just sitting still at my size and age and gender. And then if I move around a bit, you burn like an extra 500 or 600 calories.
Right.
So then you plug in the math, right? And then you're like, all right, well, let's just say that I ate an extra 300 calories a day. And then your weight just jumps up, like skyrockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can sit there and screw around with it and be like, oh, look how strong these calories are, right? Like you can run for like an hour on a chocolate chip cookie is how
Yeah.
efficient our bodies
Yeah.
are. So what's the moral, the important part? The important part is once I realized, like I always knew that I emotionally manage myself better and feel better when things are going wrong because it limits the number of options I have. And then I know I'm doing the best thing. So I might as well feel good about it. And I'm focused on me because most other people would be screwed up. And I take pride in like, oh, look, other people are getting screwed up, not me. But when everything's going great, I don't have that same profit because when everything's going great, everybody's happy. Okay, well,
Right. Yeah.
So now because I had one of the best experiences in my life, and then I was depressed after. Now I just use all the tactics that I've learned, right? Like transformational vocabulary, where you just use better language to describe stuff. You know, So if anything happens, you just choose a more empowering meaning for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm doing this locally very well, but it hasn't like bled through to Twitter yet.
Okay.
Maybe
So
lightly.
are you saying that you're like, are you dieting? It's like you said you changed.
Well,
your,
it's
what your
so
change
the only relationship to the dieting is that it's just an example of something you could do, and you should do, and barely anybody does.
Right,
So I'm doing the dieting, but I'm not as focused on that as I am on my emotional diet, my mental diet.
Right.
So you've got a physical diet that feeds your body calories and nutrients, and you have an emotional attention economy, and what you let into your attention economy basically decides whether you have a good life or not, literally, period.
Yeah.
If your attention economy and focus is bad, you will have a bad life. And it doesn't matter externally what happens, because everything that happens externally filters through your values and beliefs and habits, and then that's what hits your reality, your soul, basically. And so, some of the happiest people in the world are poor people. Mm-hmm. Happiness is free. It's free. Joy is free. So at any given moment, there's infinite horror in the world and infinite beauty. I'll tell you another example that I've always known logically. And you could read all the stuff I'm telling you is in SciVive book, t.me/SciVive. You can read it.
I've got questions about it.
So nice, dude. That's great. That's great.
So.
I'm excited every time the editor sends me a new batch that he's gone through. I'm like, yes, thank God. This will be done.
Is that what's in red? Is the editor, or is it like corrections that you made yourself?
There's been so many people that have gone through it, because it's like 10 books worth of content. It's like hundreds of thousands of words. So it's multiple people have thrown their hat in the ring trying to get it down to something manageable for normal publication, right? So that you should have a good physical diet. You should move more and eat less. You should eat less, and you should eat less often. You'll live longer. You'll live healthier. You'll spend less time in queue. You'll spend less money. You'll spend less time in the bathroom. You'll spend less time chewing your teeth down. You'll fart less. Every fucking possible thing is better. It's all better, right? So you should do that. I'm doing that for my attention economy. So, and this kind of this is hard on Twitter because there's an art. You need the drama bullshit because that is what people respond to. So internally, I'm tranquil and chill, right? Like some guy that's a trader, which just destroys people's lives. Let's talk about trading.
Gross.
Do most people make money trading? No. Do half the people make money trading? No. Does almost anyone make any money trading? No. Almost everyone is wrecked. Okay. And how wrecked are they? They're so wrecked they kill themselves. Well, that sounds like a shitty hobby. How many hobbies can you have where the outcome is you're killing yourself?
Yeah.
Trading is one of those things, particularly margin trading. Because if you're just trading spot, worst case, it goes to zero. But if you're trading margin, especially in legacy markets, you can owe more than was in your account, and then you could part with your house and such. In crypto, they're not coming for your house, but in legacy, they'll come for your house. Yeah. So
they'll just scam you in crypto and take everything you got. They just have scam
They're like, where's the stop? Bro, apparently in the Forex markets, the platforms that you use to run your Forex trading operation, from the exchange level, they have a button to clear stops. The system knows where all the stops are, and it's just wipe stops. It's a fucking button, and you just liquidate everybody. Wow. And you're like, okay. They know where everybody's stops are, and they just go fucking liquidate everybody. You're like, wow. It's not risk-free. I mean, there is some risk in doing that, but it's if you think that any market is not without fuckery,
Oh yeah, that's what I think is so funny is everybody thinks that they're like the Bitcoin markets. They talk about wash trading or whatever. Oh, it's just wash trading on HEX, or it's just this and it's just this. It's like, yeah, because Bitcoin doesn't have any of those things that you're talking about. Like those, you're just in a good market that nothing happens like that. You guys are crazy.
And then there's other things if the price goes up, that's organic growth. But the price goes down, manipulation. This market is manipulated. So manipulation is whenever you were on the wrong side of the trade. There's this funny GIF where it's like a picture of a guy looking in the mirror, pointing at it. I'm not a bad trader. The market was manipulated.
Yep.
So back to the beginning, the very beginning here. The life-changing part is, you know that there's always a silver lining. You know that there's empowering beliefs that you could have about any event. You know there's a better and worse way to look at things. You know there's better and worse language you could use. And there's like a vibe, like a weight in your head, and you can see it on people's face. And when someone's joyous, you can see it. Like, I'm very tired right now, so my joy is probably not like flying out. But it's like, once you get into the habit of just being more positive, it's free. So like, I'm a comfort eater, right? Oh, I need to feel different. Food time.
Yeah, go.
Right?
Oh, I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way. Don't worry.
And then you're like, oh, I'm tired. Am I tired? Am I hungry? Yeah. So like tired feels like hungry. Stress feels like hungry. And then you're like, oh, look, I have two people. I'm wearing a XXL shirt. I'm not now, but like, I've got some XXL shirts that fit real good. And I was hoping not to have that, right?
Right.
And this is American
the
XXL.
move up to the next X. The move up is like, it's just like, no, I'm gonna wear this bad boy for a while. You try to put it on.
It's so crappy. And then like so you need it to cover your damn stomach, and then the shoulders keep getting whiter, and then you have like pockets here and here, and you're like, this looks so stupid. Like, fucking, there's no amount of fashion will make this body look good. So we're gonna need to fucking cut some edges here. Yes, I'm doing cheerful now. I'm doing really well at it. And I'm happy about it because, man, think about all the reasons you've got to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't dead from COVID. Ain't sick from COVID. New all-time highs on the fucking NASDAQ. Enjoy.
Dude, you made the most brilliant coin ever made. Like, should be the happiest guy alive. I feel dude. If you would have looked at my life 7 months ago, you would not have thought of like that I was this guy. You know what I mean? Right? I wasn't this guy. If you looked at my first videos, which you can anymore, but
oh god.
But if you looked at my first videos, I wasn't. I was just like, and today we are going to look at the price. Yeah, because I wasn't as happy as, and even when we have some downturns or whatever, it's just like, dude,
I love watching your stream, dude. I watch your stream all the time because it's just like it brings joy to your life, and that's like one of the things that I didn't design or program or even account for. I mean, I'm big on memes, and we've had a memes channel like forever, right? So I do like humor in general. But people keep commenting like, "Thanks for making crypto fun again," and I'm just like,
for real,
huh? Because none of my game theory stuff is designed around that. You know, like it's no.
But it is so much fun to like look at it and just like speculate on, and I think it does have a lot to do with the people that are involved with the currency
for
as well.
sure.
I mean, we got people like RG3 and Good Texture and Funding Jim and all those guys and yourself. Like you're a blast to be around.
Thanks,
if you're not on the other end of beating. Like,
if we agree on stuff, we're great friends.
Yeah, I just sit there with popcorn laughing the whole day. I go for a walk every day and I listen to you and I'm just like, I'll just be there and be like, he got him,
dude.
He got him. So
the
good.
Savage beatdowns, the savagery. Here's what's so interesting. If you go back through other people's predictions, they got everything wrong, right? Yeah. So like, I like Ivan. He's a nice guy, but I have a feeling he's got a bag of IOTA. And I said a year and a half ago, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It is 100% garbage run by assholes. Now look, I'm positive, but I'm positively calling these people assholes. I'm enjoying it because they are. And I was 100% right and they were 100% wrong. They lost their users' private keys because they put exploited software in their client. They lost their users' private keys. On top of shutting the entire network down to try and build some Rube Goldberg machine to make up for it using AML KYC. So like, oh, okay, if the hacker tries to steal the money and you try and steal the money at the same time, then our good and glorious centralized foundation will decide who really gets the money. What a good solution. Really, really well done, guys. You guys are the best.
That sounds like a crypto.
Yeah.
Same with EOS with their how they can.
Apparently they changed that.
People you can't do. They don't do that anymore.
Well, they apparently like EOS was
out if you've just been sitting there for too long.
Sure.
Like,
EOS was well, they might have kept that. They got rid of the like default judgment thing. So they had like a fake court that would just be like, oh, somebody said you're a hacker. We take your money. They might have kept the like, you didn't move your coins. We take your money. Or they might have got rid of it. But like, how the fuck can you sell someone a coin and then be like, yo, you know what you signed up for? By the way, we're changing that. Humans are going to get together and they're going to change that. So if you don't like that, well, you know, I bet you wish you didn't buy that bag then. That's not, that's the opposite of why crypto exists. Yeah. Crypto is designed to get rid of stupid humans screwing things up and just use math. That's what crypto is designed for. And then every crypto I see, they have voting.
It sounds like crypto just figured that, like, it just went away from actually what crypto was. Like they've invented their own, like they brought, like, what is it when you set kids out and they'll start their own kind of government system or something? I know it's like the Lord of the Flies thing, but it's like there's something I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's like you know, if you give it a long enough time, it all turns into exactly what it was before. And it looks like that's what crypto is turning into, where it's just exactly what.
Yeah. You know, they're like, oh, this is the reason that law exists. Oh, and that's why that. And oh, like, oh, yeah. This is, so there's a guy that predicts that societies get fucked up every 50 years because the kids of the people that had it bad forgot that it could be bad. And then they undo all the protections against the bad, right? Like right now, people are out there fighting cops. Yeah. Well, guess what the cops do all day long? They fight the criminals. Right. So people forgot that, like, I'll show you the chart. Here's the number of people killed by cops. Here's the number of people killed by other people. It's literally like this. This is the bigger problem. The biggest problem with people getting the shit killed out of them in America is other American citizens killing them, period. Yeah. And it's not the people that are fighting that for a living, right? Yes, they could be better trained. Like, if a cop's pulling you over, he ain't going to give you no awards or prizes. You could either lose a lot or lose a little. That's it. If a criminal starts beating your ass, you could lose a lot or you could lose a little. You're not going to win any awards, right? Right. I mean, I guess you kick his ass and steal his wallet, but then, you know, maybe he calls the police on you. This is game theory. So, like, I've always
game theory and criminal.
I'm from Florida, man, and if you want to know how it is, just go to floridaman.reddit.com. Somebody today told me a game that you play where you search your birthday with Florida Man in Google, and then you see like what type of stuff Florida men were doing on that day. And you know, I did that, and some guy was arrested for getting an alligator to bite him, a caiman apparently, which I believe is a crocodile. Not sure, but I think it's crocodile. And then he got it to bite him, and then like he fed it beer. And then that's apparently against the law to get alligators drunk. So he got jail for that.
Just for getting the alligator drunk after he bit him, huh?
It seems nicer to me than throwing the alligator in the drive-through window, which is another Florida story. There's so many Florida stories. Wow. It's like
Florida
is madness.
I can't wait to go. By the way, you know, the Big Payday's a great place. I've never been there, so it should be a great time.
Yeah, bring. It's gonna be spicy. So what are the things we're going over? One, you've got a mental diet. Watch what you put in your brain. So. Yeah. For instance, have cops been killing the shit out of people for a long time now? Yes. Do you remember the Rodney King riots? And then what? What happened after that? Once they burned Los Angeles down, what happened? Well, the cops apparently are still beating the fuck out of people, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, so did burning everything down help? Apparently not, you know? So, like, if you want progress in the world, It's the consistency that is going to generate it. If you go out and march and tear a bunch of statues down and then go home and go back to your life, no progress will be made. The guys that sit there and grind out getting better people elected and getting better people hired and getting more money for training and grinding that hard work out, that's where the progress actually comes from. The people that go to the gym for one day on January 2nd and then don't go again, they don't get any gains. But the people that go every day, they get all the gains. So if you watch the news and it's not changing your behavior in a positive way, you're truly wasting your life. The majority of human beings would be vastly better off not ever watching the news.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing with the data? Like, okay, I watched some of this. Okay, look, they're marching and they're firing tear gas at each other and they're fucking each other up, and you watch it and you're like, okay, yep. Now what do I do with that? What am I going to do with that?
Right,
I'm going to waste I'm going to piss off my crypto followers by tweeting this fucking half of people don't like it, half of people like it, polarizing bullshit, right? Like, I'm not even sure that's useful, like I've got unique commentary on it, but it's like a landmine, right?
Yeah, no, it is, because it is polarizing. And you can't make anybody happy, and so it's just like, why even care about it? And it doesn't affect me, I guess. Maybe if it does affect me, maybe. But I mean, that's kind of the thing where it's just like, I didn't speak out when they came for, kind of thing. But it's also more of
but
it's more of just like the manipulated. You're looking at something completely manipulated anyway, and then you're giving your choice of words on it, and then it's like, yeah, maybe I wasn't always.
I think the important part is to like extrapolate learning that you can do across every new event that will occur. So this particular political strife, it will go away, and then we'll have the next one, and then we'll have the next one, and then we'll have the next one. And the best thing that you can do is learn how to manage your consciousness economy, your attention economy, so that you're paying attention to things that benefit your life. And I got to tell you, watching people beat the shit out of each other in the streets, yeah, it's fun. I got to say, it is fun to watch. But it's not, there's a lot of better things I could be doing with my time, right?
Right.
A lot. And I think that's for everyone. There's behaviors you can have that add lasting value to your life. And the news is the least valuable of those things because it is ephemeral. It goes away.
Yeah.
But if you learn, if you learn sales or you learn marketing or you learn human resources or you learn to speak a new language, which I think is stupid, but hey, it works really well for some people.
I'll cross that off the list of questions.
Yeah. I speak Spanish, but it's not benefited my life in a long time. So I almost wish I didn't know it, I wish I was better with human resources. I wish I didn't have to cycle through so many bad people to find to good people. So I would instantly trade like a ton of all my keyboard knowledge, which is like at least a couple of books. There's so much stuff I know about. I wish I didn't know about computer hardware, SSDs, NVMe, M2,
right,
like scaling, like all that stuff. I wish I didn't know it. All human resources. Yeah, because think about it. If you're an expert on last year's processors, guess what you're an expert in? Nothing of value.
Yeah, nothing. That's
because
true.
It's ephemeral. That knowledge depreciates very quickly. Just like the news. Oh, I know about this year's this guy running versus that guy. Oh, cool. Well, guess what? Next year, different guys. So you just wasted a whole shitload of time.
That's true. That's true. And then you worry yourself into like, well, for me, like, and sounds like you too. It's like, then I worry myself into going and eating more. And so then I eat more. And then it's like, it's a horrible feedback loop where it's a negative feedback loop where I'm just like, I'm eating because I'm nervous because all this craziness is going on. Because I looked at the news or I saw these people fighting. And then it's just like, and then I look back into it and then it just keeps going around and around. It's
That's why it's better to be positive because one, you're going to attract better people into your life. If you are more positive, you are more fun to be around. If you are more fun to be around, you're going to have a better choice of who you want to spend your time with. So you're going to get paid more at your job. You're going to have less stress eating. You're going to have less cortisol in your body, which isn't going to centralize fat around your midsection. You're going to have less wrinkles on your face. on down the list. Like it's massively positive. The trick, the magic, in my opinion, is to be happy and joyous and grateful in a way that is productive. So that if one day, you have a bad day and you're like sad or whatever, right? Then you look around and you're like, yeah, shit's still real good,
Yeah.
Because there's people that do it. There's people that do it wrong. If you're a hippie or a monk and you spend your time mind fucking yourself thinking everything's fabulous while things deteriorate around you and you become weaker and less powerful, that's mind fuckery. That's not better. That's worse. So be productive positively, but don't be positively unproductive.
Yeah, I think honestly, the like people ask me how I'm so positive. Well, like I saw some pretty like I was in the middle of Iraq war. Like I actually had to see some crazy shit, and so like like every day is almost kind of like a happiness. Like, oh man, I'm alive and I actually get to experience my life. And having this is I've been down in the dumps. Like before this I was pretty down. Like you have to also think about that stuff. But then this gives me a whole new like, hey, I got something to do, instead of trying to just be like thinking about it all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
So it is very much
it's all
about what you think about it, for sure.
I'll tell you another thing that's always been logically there, but I've never emotionally like felt it and lived it and employed it. If you're Bill Gates and you're making $1 million on some software deal, there's 10 other software deals you're not making $1 million on.
Right.
If you're anybody and you're sitting down having a delicious steak dinner, usually not eating Italian, right? You're not eating pasta, usually. So whatever it is that you do, whatever awesome, amazing thing that you do, there is an infinite number of other things you are not doing. The more opportunity you have, the more things you're not doing. The more money you have, the more things you're not doing. So when you realize that life is you choosing what you want to do and then ignoring the vast majority of everything else, it makes you more okay with missed opportunity.
Right.
So it's like, think about HEX. Think about all the opportunity HEX has. I know there's people that are working on adding anonymity to it. I've seen it. I know there's people that have already built so that you can pay fees in HEX without touching ETH, and they already use it. So the tip bot in the Telegram channels uses that technology, so you can withdraw your HEX without having any ETH necessary to do the withdrawal. It's called meta transactions. So I've seen people working on margin trading stuff. I've seen people suggesting other cool stuff built on top, right? Imagine the pasta menu that we use all the time in the Telegram channel that answers so many questions people have. Why won't the price dump on day 353? Well, no one knows, but here, look. Yeah. The people that claimed, their claims are spread out over 350 days. So if you're worried about those guys dumping, they're going to be dumping over a year, and a lot of them locked up for longer than a year, right? So there's all these cool resources. Now, who has access to that pasta menu? It doesn't exist anywhere else in the entire world except Telegram. And Telegram is obviously a minority of people that use HEX because there's a lot of HEX wallets out there. So shouldn't that all those cool pasta commands be on a website somewhere so that people could actually like gain benefit from them, right? Like, yeah, they should. So maybe shouldn't the HEX website be in like every language? Yes, it should. So like, I would love to see more languages. I would love to see these other things like finished and actually rolled out so that people could start benefiting from them. And then marketing as well. My last multi-million-dollar thing I did, we had tons and tons and tons of referral marketers, and they operated at scale, like they had teams. HEX doesn't have that yet. And no other cryptocurrency that I'm aware of has ever had it. So we are built to have that. We have the referral system in it. We're so many opportunities are open to us, Right.
Yeah.
So the magic is like old me, last week me would say, that sucks. Look how far behind we are. This should be done. That should be done. That should be done. Look, we're not even number one market cap yet. We're only like number 30 or number 20, depending on where you're looking.
Oh,
I mean, we should be number one already. Just is that fair? Is that useful, right? And then when you're like, oh, we should already be number one market cap, then you're like overeating. And then you sell less of your self-help book because you're chubby. No one wants to buy a self-help book from a chubby guy. So it's like so dumb, right? So like, yeah, the trick for me, the big thing for me, and this, and probably no one else, like this is not a problem I've heard of very often from other people. This seems like a me-centric kind of problem. This whole like, when everything's going good, be unhappy kind of thing. It's gonna change my life. It's already changed my life. You know.
Good man.
If you have the best in the world, but you make it not the best through some trickery of your mind, like, you know, oh, you started $1 billion cryptocurrency, it's going great with the ladies, you know, you're healthy, no COVID, like, what do you want, dude? I mean, fuck, like, it's everything's good, man. I mean, you've been retired for how long, dude? I've been retired since like 2003. It's 2020 now. It's 17 years. You've been retired, fucking around, doing whatever you want. Be happy, dude. Like, is this not going to get any better, man? It's really good now. Like, it's good now. So
yeah, most people like you know, they inspire to do what you've done at 23 or whenever. What is it, 23 that you? So most people, you know, do 50 or 60 years to try to retire. You did it in like 5 years. So you.
And I'm scaling up. You know, I'm not scaling out. I'm scaling up. Like I'm like, I want this iVibe book to come out. I want to see HEX number one market cap and then transcend it, right? Like let's get actual adoption. And people are always messaging me these cool stuff that wasn't really on my radar. Like some guy was messaging me even like an hour before I came on here. And he's like, yeah, I'm putting together a media kit so that we can get you like doing better interviews with like non-crypto people. So my picture, descriptions, cool headlines that'll make journalists like bite in, right? So the guy is a journalist, is doing it. And I know RG3 was doing something similar to try and pitch the Joe Rogan people. So that sounds great. There should be a HEX media kit, right? The list of stuff I have that like is so easy to do but isn't done yet, it's literally like this. It's just insane. And it gets longer every day, and I'm okay with that. Last week me would be upset that the list gets longer instead of shorter every day. New me, that's cool, because what's going to happen is better stuff will get done. So, you know, you can either scale up resources or you can just do better stuff because you have more to choose from, right? And as long as you're triaging properly, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to ignore this. So for instance, some guy wrote like all these Chinese guides that are like really good for China, but I'm not seeing people type Chinese in chat that much. So I'm just like, it's going to have to wait. People did Arabic translations and Hebrew translations for the website, but they're right to left characters, which is like a nightmare from a UI perspective. They're going to have to wait. You know, like there's so many things that just have to wait because we've got higher priority stuff, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I think that like the community is, I mean, you know, I think that anybody in the community is willing to help with any of that. You know what I mean?
Dude, so it's like we all, I love it.
Exactly. We've got so many people out there that are like, dude, you know, like Steph and Firebud and, well, there's tons of other people that are doing websites and stuff, but they're doing that staker app, which I don't know what it is. We're all, you know, everybody's like super excited. Yeah, it's gonna be super cool, and everybody's so excited about it. So we're all, you know, I think that without having a roadmap, it makes HEX actually like legit, like it's fun to be around as well. It's not like, oh, well, are they going to get this done? And then they're 3 months behind.
Like a roadmap is just someone else selling you bullshit. Someone else selling you future dream money for money today is what that roadmap bullshit is. And that is the opposite of why crypto exists. Crypto exists to get rid of some guy promising you shit and then not giving it to you. Like that's what banks do. Oh, you want to spend your money? We don't like where you're sending it. Only during our hours. We're going to have to fill some reports. Crypto's invented to get rid of that shit. So when people stand on stage and tell you, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this, you're like, oh, so, you know, I just watched some press release about Factom going out of business. Oh, okay. I don't even know what the fuck they do. I think they were like one of the first ICOs. Apparently Factom's older than ETH. Apparently. It's older than Ethereum, apparently. And they smoked through like $18 million of funding. And now they're bankrupt. and their debts exceed their amount to pay their debts, their ability to pay their debts. And I'm just like, yeah, well, you know what, man? If you don't have product market fit, you need to stop wasting everyone's fucking time. Here's what happens. A company that doesn't have product market fit takes investor money and throws it in the garbage to pollute the environment with bad ads that no one cares about, and consume developer time to build shit no one will ever use, and consume mind space of the public. I'm here talking several years later about IOTA, about how terrible it is. But wouldn't it have been better if it had never existed and never consumed everyone's money and never consumed everyone's mind space and never, like, the world would be a better place if it recognized Internet of Things itself has no fucking market. It does not exist at all. No, anyone that is intelligent that has ever had a digitally connected device in their house has disconnected that shit. If your light switches talk to the internet, you unplug them. If your refrigerator talks to the internet, you unplug it, because the shit stops working. It breaks. It does not help anything at all. The best light switch is one that always fucking works and doesn't need a firmware update and doesn't need permission from fucking Google and doesn't phone home. It just works always. It's just like cars. People are realizing buttons are better than touchscreens for a car. Oh, you're driving. It's dark. Can't see shit. Tactile sense works real good. Knobs, buttons works good. Touchscreen, you're fucked. Oh, I gotta look down. Now I'm not looking at the road. Oh, right. It's some things work better the old way. So right now, all the Internet of Things has been for 10 years is a distributed denial of service attack, because all those shitty little garbage devices that they put out there that have IP addresses all get exploited because no one can afford to secure them, and then they are used to attack honest other things on the network, like websites. So all the Internet of Things has ever done in the years and years that it's existed is act as an attack vector against other honest websites. How the fuck is that useful? It's not. It's totally not useful. It's total bullshit. Oh, guys, we're doing all these partnerships. Pro tip. If your partnership requires that you work for free, it's because whatever the fuck you're selling isn't worth buying. Because you can't literally generate any money from selling it because no one will pay you. They'll only accept it for free. Yeah. Well, okay, so where does your revenue come from? Oh, well, we're going to let people use the network for free. Okay, well, where does your revenue come from? Oh, well, we're getting partnerships for free. Where does your revenue come from? Like, they don't. Yeah. It blows my mind. And then, here's another funny one, right? So let's take Zcash. Zcash was a piece of shit from the moment it fucking started. So we're going to make optional anonymity. So we're going to make a fork of Bitcoin called Zcash, and we're going to make anonymity optional. So there's no anonymity set. So any poor son of a bitch that actually decides to use it for anonymity is useless to him because it's obvious he's the only guy that did it. So it's up to maybe 10% shielded now. When I was talking shit about it a year or two ago, it was like 3 or 5% shielded. Garbage. Then they hire like 80 guys in their company. They have a 20% dev tax on every block, which I think might be 10% now or something like that. And the price just goes like, it went like this and then death forever. Why? Because they're selling the fucking coins every day to pay 80 guys to build shit no one's using. Well, what do you think's going to happen to the price? So everyone brags about, oh, we got all these developers. We got all this fucking, like Garlinghouse from XRP is like, I spend 80% of my time flying around in an airplane. Well, one, you're dumb, okay?
Oh, this ain't a scam.
Brad Garlinghouse. If this is it, which one's it going to be, motherfucker? We're either going to the moon. That dude's hilarious, man. I would love to see him make some fucking Hex videos. I really would. I've messaged him numerous times. I hope he fucking starts making some. I don't care if he hates Hex or loves Hex. I don't really give a shit. Yeah. I just want to hear the word Hex come out of his mouth. It's so funny. So I won't shill who I'm talking about until I see a Hex video come out of him. But it'd be fucking funny if he started making them. So Brad Garlinghouse is bragging about all these partnerships that they don't make any money on, bragging about flying around. You think Bill Gates brags about flying around all the time? No, if you're important, motherfuckers come to you. Why are you flying around like a bitch, getting X-ray radiation from the ozone and whatnot. Like, the fuck is nothing good about that. Oh, you're polluting the environment a lot. Congrats, man. You know, we got webcams. I got several 4K cameras right in front of me. Why the fuck don't you get a nice 4K camera, dude? I mean, obviously, you could just stop meeting people because you're not getting their money anyway because the price keeps going down. So, like, if you don't have product market fit, fire everyone's ass. Fire everybody. Let them go live a good, productive life where the shit they build, someone will actually fucking use. Enslaving developers to build shit that no one will ever use hurts their life, hurts the investors' lives, hurts the fucking attention economies of the people that see your ads for your shit that has no product market fit. Like, I'm just sick of seeing people waste all this fucking money. Like, Hex is beating the shit out of how many coins? No office building, no payroll, no employees, no roadmap. It was just built better, and it has product market fit, and it doesn't need all that fake shit that just hurts the price. It's just like it's like Ethereum and Bitcoin mining. They only hurt the price. Bitcoin miners do not buy Bitcoin. They sell Bitcoin. Every Bitcoin that's ever existed was sold by a miner. They sell that shit, man. Every Bitcoin anyone ever has had in their whole life, they got from a miner. Every single Bitcoin is passed through a miner's fucking hands. And what do they do with the Bitcoin they sell? They pay to pollute the environment because they have to, because that's the security model. That's the proof of work model. Ethereum has to pay that. So Ethereum's price would be higher, but the miners have had to sell the shit out of it to pay mining bills. Bitcoin's price would be higher. But for 10 years, the miners have had to sell the living shit of it to pollute the environment.
Yeah.
So, like, does Hex need to sell any of its units to support its security model? No, not at all. Not at all, because we're piggybacking on these guys already getting fucked. So since someone else is already getting fucked on the proof of work overhead, well, we'll just tag along, right? It's just like Netflix. Do you think Netflix had to build out a pipe that would bring their service into your home? No. They just piggybacked on a fucking network that was already there called the internet. They didn't have to run their own cords there, right? Yeah. So Netflix got to get rich and the ISPs got to make nothing because the value accrues at the endpoints. Amazon got to get rich and UPS not really didn't make much because the pipes don't make much. The endpoints make all the money. Just like Tether. Tether does the most transactions of any cryptocurrency in history. It's not really a cryptocurrency, but you know, it uses cryptocurrencies to move its ledger. The Omni token for the network that used to run all of the Tether transactions does about $300 to $900 a day of volume. It's dead. It's wrecked. However, a multi-billion-dollar project ran on top of it. What does that mean? It means that you can have a wildly successful multi-billion-dollar project on top of your dumb pipe, and your dumb pipe will be worth nothing. As a matter of fact, it works better if it's worth nothing because transactions are cheaper. So, so Ethereum actually is a more useful network from a computation perspective when it's cheaper, right?
Cheaper, right?
Like who is it?
Say something like that. Like he said, he actually wishes the price was actually lower just because it is supposed to be for transactional purposes. Kind of like not just transactional, but for transactional purposes.
Yeah, expensive computing isn't great.
Yeah,
right. So, and I mean, I tweeted this. So some Ethereum guy who's popular posted, hey, you know, ETH price pumped really hard when ICOs were taking off. Now DeFi's taking off. Why isn't ETH taking off? What's your take on that? And I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you a story. The most popular coin on ETH is USDT. It's 66% of the transactions. 2/3 of Ethereum transactions are Tether transactions. Yep. Guess what? 100% of Tether transactions used to be on Omni, and Omni wasn't worth anything. So now they took that behavior that didn't generate any value for the substrate that it ran on, and they moved it over to a different substrate called Ethereum. Yeah. Well, guess what? It's probably not bringing any value here either. So, you know, and I don't think it got a lot of upvotes. As a matter of fact, the guy who founded Omni commented on the thread, and the guy who he also apparently founded Tether. So, you know, I'm like, listen, Omni was obviously a successful protocol because look, it allowed Tether to exist and look how successful that was. Now, you know, I don't want to argue with the guy because he invented something that works and is useful.
Right.
And I'm not trying to shit talk his project. I'm only showing you that value stratification accrues at different points in any system. And in the world that we live in today, the majority of value is captured at the endpoints, and really the end point where the customer is. The closer you are to the money, the more you get made, more you get paid. Highest paid profession in the world, sales. Why? Closest to the money, right?
Yeah.
Dumb pipes, gonna get paid less. Customer doesn't directly interact with them. They don't have as much pricing power. They don't have as much walled garden. Like it's more commoditized. So, Ethereum will pump when people want to buy Ethereum.
Right.
They wanted to do it for the ICO rage. They wanted to do it to get into HEX. They wanted to do it to get into Ponzi's like Plus Token and these other bullshit Ponzi's that are running. Those things generate ETH buying pressure. But does paying higher fees generate a lot of ETH buying pressure? No, because even at absurdly high fees, the amount of transactions times those high fees still doesn't equal jack shit compared to like FOMO pump money. There's just no comparison.
Yeah.
So getting people to buy and hold stuff is where all of the value actually is. But see, it's so funny. People start out buying the coin that has the prettiest logo, which is obviously HEX.
Okay. Yeah. That was one of my questions, by the way. Because you have it in the book. You have it in SciVive, how yellow means the sun, I believe. I can't remember. And magenta means something. They're right next to each other.
Interesting.
In the book. I was like, I wonder if Richard did that.
No.
Oh, you did it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
It just happens to be the default gradient in Photoshop products when you start fucking around with gradients. So.
Okay.
It's like
that's the highest on purple or like.
Well, I tried so many different color combinations because I study, they're called colorways. So I started studying colorways because they're popular in keyboards. And before they were popular in keyboards, they were popular in sneakers. And so you'll find that there's only so many like really awesome color schemes. So like pink and mint is a nice mix. A cool one that's very rare that I think is really beautiful is like maroon and baby blue. Or, black and electric blue is pretty cool, but you're looking like gray, I guess mint and purple and green goes well, but it's more of like that's why they used it for the Joker's colors, because it goes well, but it makes you feel a little queasy, So like there's only a finite number of like badass color schemes. And we kind of rotated through them all. So I took like every good keyboard and sneaker color scheme and tried it to see what could work. We had, you were there for this, I think, in the Hex Memes channel, I think.
Yeah.
We had hundreds of different attempts at greatness. And this one just worked out the best. And we actually had to darken the bottom left corner because when it was pure yellow on the well, it's not really CYMK, but when it was pure yellow, it would lose that edge. So on most white backgrounds, you wouldn't be able to see the bottom left corner of the hexagon. So we actually had to darken that up a little bit. So it's not pure yellow. It's a little bit darker to maintain that angle because we need that sharpness there to maintain the geometry. I'm a smart motherfucker. And when I put time into a thing, that thing I'm putting time into gets done well. Like my streaming setup, nobody has it better, right? When I write copy, or like when I write tweets that I put time into, they're awesome, So the more things that or people that like me because they're smart like I am, like I think your thumbnails are fabulous, right? Your positivity in your stream is fabulous. Your scaling across multiple platforms, fabulous. There's a ton of stuff that you do really right. There's a ton of stuff that I do really right. And we are just kind of accumulating people that have this positive effect, Yeah. I've heard stuff like about share theory from Good Texture. I've not even thought about it. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. Yeah. And I hear all these interesting angles from different people, things that I didn't think about before. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's really neat, right? So I'm surprised by the cool stuff in HEX that is an emergent property that is awesome that I didn't even think of when I first did it, right? So like we did this awesome thing for this reason, and we got an awesome side benefit I didn't think about. Great, you know.
Right.
So if we continue to chip away at each of us individually and whatever we do in our lives, if you continue to be consistent and show up and put that little bit of energy in, things just keep getting better and better. Like I never have to change my streaming setup because it's perfect.
Right.
Never have to fuck with it. Don't have to touch my keyboard. It's perfect. And as we keep manipulating things and making them slightly better over and over again, we're just going to be beating everyone's ass. Who has a better Telegram channel than us? No one. Who has more audits on their smart contract? Maybe one or two, maybe somewhere, but it's like almost no one, right? Who's making better YouTube videos? I think you're kicking ass. I don't know anyone that makes daily YouTube videos that are as fun as yours, right? You don't make daily YouTube videos? Oh well, you need to get a YouTube channel, dude. Just make an extra account.
Well, it said that you can't. You like against it.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Don't care.
It's
do not care.
Yeah, I should just try another one. I was waiting kind of for them to, because I appealed it, and so I'm kind of.
You'll never get a response. You will never get a response. I have never gotten a response to my appeal.
Well, I mean the appeal, because like you know how Bitcoin.com, like once they delete your channel, I guess it's kind of more serious. Maybe I don't know. I was gonna give it a week and then maybe.
No, just make a new one, dude. Like fuck those guys. They're a persistent threat.
Right. Yeah.
They're an APT. They're an advanced persistent threat. They will always suck forever. Period. Here's the reason they will always suck forever. Even though Google's a massive, massive company, and even though everyone loves YouTube, if they actually tried to provide good service, they'd go out of business because it's that expensive to do. So yes, it sucks that they suck, but if they don't have a computer almost do everything, they will lose even more money than they're already losing because customer service is actually really expensive. So it's going to continue to suck forever until AI is so smart that it can just make the videos too. We don't have to make them anymore. Fucking AI's got it covered. So like, I have to keep like changing my screen to make it brighten up because it like dims. Just like I'm using it for light for my face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like I keep having to like get it to realize not to dim. I could go into the firmware and change the settings, but I haven't messed with it. You have to like hack it, like a firmware menu. So much effort. I did on my last one, but I didn't do on this one yet. So positivity. Be productive joyously. Realize that life is really, really good right now, and it can be forevermore. So like, be happy.
Yeah.
You will see me happier in my streams. You'll see me happier in day-to-day life. I'm not sure how the happiness is going to come out in the tweets because I derive profit from fucking people up on Twitter, right? So like, people don't want to see me like people don't want to see me like happily, they want to see me fucking up people that deserve to get fucked up. So a savage tone somewhere. Savaged.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Matchstick Men. Mm-hmm. Where the guy from Con Air, what's his name?
Yeah, forgot. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. He has a nervous twitch because he's scamming people all day long. Yeah. And his subconscious is like, man, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. This is fucked up. And then he just has a twitch. And then I associated that with Tone's stuttering. So I said, Tone probably stutters so much because his subconscious knows he's feeding people into the margin trading meat grinder and he's profiting on their horror. Now, it may not be the case, but once I set that idea in motion, it may become the case. Yeah. So maybe he'll turn into a stuttering pile of sadness or something. Well,
once I made the Dom meme, he started wrecking himself on Twitter. So
look, How can you? The math is so simple. I don't know anyone that has ever said they've ever made money on his shit ever. And he's been doing this for like a long time. So it's like at least you should randomly. I'll tell you this. This is a funny trick. You put out a newspaper public. You send out direct mail, and you say that this stock is going to go up to half of the people, and you say this same stock is going to go down to the other half. Well, one of those is going to be true very likely. And then you only mail the next round of letters to the guys that you got it right. Okay? Your next round of letters, you choose another stock. You send half of those people that it's going to go up, half that it's going to go down. It happens. So now you're down to a quarter of your list, but you've been right twice.
So they're gonna
so you can really like you can have people that due to just math you've been right like 6 times in a row. but your list is 6 times divided, right? Like your list has been cut in half 6 times. But those people that have seen you be right 6 times, you're a god, right? You're literal god. So
I used to watch Tone. I used to watch him. Like, not that I thought he was God. I thought that he had some good. I mean, honestly, learning from somebody that's supposedly good at something.
But that's but it's like that's every scam, right? So the BitConnect scam was, hey, we're gonna lend your coins out somehow or some shit, right? Or the most common thing in crypto is arbitrage. Okay, we're going to run these bots that do arbitrage. Give us your money. We'll give you more money later. But the arbitrage doesn't happen. It never occurs. It's fraudulent, right? And it's the same thing with trading stuff. I can predict the future. But instead of just sitting at home in my fucking underwear and predicting the future for mad gains, I want to travel the world and talk to 5 or 6 people at a time and get like $500 off them. What? You're like, just go double your money a couple times, bro. I mean, fuck, you're good at this trading shit. Yo, hey, just go 10x long. I mean, shit, you got like 150x available to you, right? Go 10x long on any of your calls and then just take the next couple of years off.
Yeah.
But you can't because you're wrecked. And you've always been wrecked. Like,
not always, yeah, exactly. Once I came to that realization of when you told everybody, like, you can't reset if you're selling, of course, for 0.2 or 0.3 Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you're probably wrecked, and you haven't actually made any money, and with your trading, your little program, because that's where you're getting your money from is the people that are under you that are getting wrecked, and then you show them your margin trading links, and it's just like, okay.
And the worst part, here's the worst part of it, right? He's not just fucking you for the money that you give him. With education that you think is going to make you rich, it actually destroys your life and takes your money while it's destroying your life, right? So you used to be a nice human being. Now you stare at charts, hoping and dreaming to derive some type of meaning and pattern finding from them with 10,000 other assholes staring at the same chart, trying to take each other's money. Yeah. Get 5,000 people on this side, 5,000 people on that side. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Nope. And then all you guys get exit scammed at the same time. It's like, it's fucking, hey, we all got scam wicked both ways. We got fucking Darth Mauled, the red candle, like, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, you're in like some Telegram group with, I think he had a Telegram group or some kind of group, a trading group that you had to pay for as well. And it's
private groups, of course. You want to know how they do it in the real world? In the real world, people that aren't dumb fucks, like people that can actually profitably trade. Go and get a fucking license from the fucking state, be a registered financial advisor, go open up a hedge fund. It doesn't cost that much. And then if you get wrecked or you make money, you're still making a percentage anyway. If the fund makes money, you make more. If the fund gets wrecked, you still make money. Less, but you're still making money. But then at least people can see your shitty ass track record and then maybe avoid you, right? But when you sell this virtual investment fund shit, where like my price calls are better than Tone's and I give them away for free.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I do his job better than him for free.
If I would have just listened to Richard Hart's calls on every of them, just on the Telegram group, like if I would have just listened to all of them, at about 8,000, I was like getting, I held it all the way through because I was just like, well, Hex is coming around someday. And then after Hex came around, I liquidated all my Bitcoin. I don't have any of it anymore. But yeah, it's I wish I would have listened, but it's all right though.
Hey man, predicting the future is hard, particularly when the game changes. So yeah. I'll tell you like an in general trading thing that I kind of believe. If you look at parabolic advances in Bitcoin, when you violate a 45% drop, you are in a bear market, period. Mm-hmm. If there was enough FOMO to make new higher highs all the time, there's enough bid support there that you ain't going to drop that much. And what have we seen Bitcoin do? Dropped 86%, dropped 75%. This is just in 2 years. It dropped 65% in 2 weeks, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months now. Well, that sounds like more than a 45% drop to me.
Yeah.
So it's like that doesn't sound like FOMO to me. Now, where's our new higher highs? We had a 14K high on the Plus token Ponzi. Have we been back to 14K? Nope.
Not even close.
12? Nope. 11? Nope. We got to 10.4 just to clear some stops up there. So, like, what the fuck, you know? And when people are tweeting, this shit disgusts me. It disgusts me. $100,000 Bitcoin's inevitable. Is it inevitable?
Oh, yeah. I see that all the time. I always laugh.
Because
watch out for the
10,000 seems to be a real motherfucker, you know? Yeah. Like two or 3 years ago, the shit was 20,000. So it makes me angry that people are now Bitcoin maximalists because they're so wrecked on their shitty altcoins that they got wrecked on that it's like the only thing left for them to like latch onto. And then they, for engagement, tweet stupid, vacuous bullshit that doesn't make any fucking sense just to get likes and retweets. Yeah. So we're the new 1%. No, you're not. The bankers own more Bitcoin than you do. Yeah. They're still the 1%, bro. Tim Draper and the Winklevi twins were both millionaires when Bitcoin fucking appeared on their radar, and they own more than you will ever own. So shut the fuck up about you being the 1%. The 1%'s the 1%, motherfucker. You're not the 1%, right? Not in Bitcoin. Like, you could do it in HEX because you're new. It's a 6-month-old coin. But in Bitcoin, they got in before you, and they were way richer when they started. So you're double fucked. You're fucked squared. You're not resetting society with Bitcoin because the bankers bought that shit. So it's like, I think strongly about, like, for instance, I have Pomp ignored, muted. So I haven't blocked him because he can read my tweets if he wants. But every time I see anything he ever tweets, it literally makes me angry. And so it's like, why are people liking and retweeting this? It's so... I mean, not everything he says is horrible, but enough of it is horrible that I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Okay, another tweet for fucking, Bitcoin's going to be $20 trillion. Half my money's in Bitcoin. And then the price drops by 4x. And it's like, dude, did you re-up? Because I know half your money's not in Bitcoin now. Because Bitcoin took a big shit. So, like, you gonna rebuy? It's just hypocrisy, man. People that hold bags that are down 85% 1 year and then the next year 75% and 65% in a fucking week or two, they're gatekeeping and being like, yo, this shit's the best. You're like, bro, that's not even good. Like, that's fucking horrible. You remember back in 2015 to 2017 when you could not get a drop over 40%? You couldn't even get one drop over 40%. Remember those days? Yeah. So what's up with this like 85% drop shit, right? It's a different game. It's a different fucking game. And so the predictions you used to be able to make back then, they don't play now. They do not play now. The game is fucking different. You can't just low margin long and just sit and be like ultra fucking happy. That shit is out. It's not happening. I do wonder if and when margin trading would appear somewhere for HEX. I do wonder how many people are going to be wrecked into oblivion. Like,
trying to short it. Or
either way, the longs can get liquidated too. It's like, I mean, because you're in a currency that $2 million. So like, I haven't looked recently, but my guess is that there's probably like 10 or 11 million dollars of liquidity, which means there's like $5 million of ETH, which means if you doubled the ETH, then you 4x the price. So if you put in $5 million, then you put the price of HEX up 4x, which put us at new all-time highs, I believe. So is it that hard to find, $5 million in crypto? No, it's not. We like whales, some whale so that like when people buy your cryptocurrency, it's all whales because the distribution of money in the world is all whales. So if you get like 1,000 plebs, one whale will like vastly put more money in, So that's reason that you get these jumps. So actually, Tom Lee has a good analysis on this through his technical analysis guys. And it's something I didn't notice, but it's pretty interesting to know. Like Bitcoin on average loses like 15% a year, except for 10 days. And in those 10 days, it makes all of its insane fucking gains. So if you're out during any one of those 10 days, you're like wrecked compared to what you could have been. So understanding the choppiness of the appreciation, and even if you look at HEX, it's like, sideways, 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 massive green candle. Yeah. Like, okay, well, like the guy that doubled the price is still higher than when he doubled it. Right, so, understanding that in crypto, at least in the cryptos I've looked at, you get these huge green candles. It's like you don't know when the next one might come, right? Yep. They're like rogue waves. You don't know when the next one's coming. So if you're margin trading HEX and you're on the right side of one of those, cool. Like you're golden. But you could be on the wrong side, right? Yeah. Like margin trading. But Warren Buffett has a good saying. I'm sure it was someone else's saying before that. It might even be Charlie Munger's saying. There's only like 3 ways to go broke: ladies, liquor, or leverage. So
either all 3 of them.
He's got great quotes. I mean, I really should go through and like read all of his stuff, basically. But here's the thing, right? I should go read all of his stuff, but I should also just edit all my amazing stuff and publish it. So it's like, sure. Right now I need to absorb less and just produce more. But the motherfucker is a genius. He really, yes, the world's best investor that's ever existed. Yes, he's a pretty smart dude. I'm really going out on a limb here. I also don't like Nazis. Can you believe that? Really adventurous statements. He has another statement that you should never risk something you need for something you don't need. You're like, yeah, sounds pretty fucking smart. Then he gives an example of people that have blown their funds up, taking risks that they didn't need to take. Like how many people that have run funds have just annihilated themselves? You see this shit happen all the time. They take risks that they didn't need to take, and then they lose something that they really could not lose.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got some questions about.
I'm ready.
If you want to.
Yeah, okay. Man.
Let me see. Let me get them. Let me bring my friend into the.
Oh shit! Oh shit, dude! Should I go get mine? You want me to put my hat on?
Yes, definitely.
All right, I'll go get my hat.
Got to get this little guy ready. What's up, guys? Hey, thank you for all the lemons and ice creams, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, there we go. We got the top hat gang.
It's so dark in here. Can't even see the fucking hat. I can't hear you until I put these headphones back on.
It's all right. But thank you guys for all the donations today. All right, let me see. Let me get the.
I've never worn the headphones with a hat before.
All
right. I can make it brighter here just by like putting on something white on my screen. Let's try that.
You can do whatever you want, man. I don't know how to wear this thing. It's very new. I actually I put this on the other day, and my wife was just kind of making fun of me. But then I felt I felt more powerful. I felt like powerful being with these things. I was like,
well, you're taller
around the house. Yeah, I feel like, almost like how much taller is this thing? Like a foot taller. You
Fuck
feel
yeah,
like
dude.
you're like because I'm 6 foot tall. I feel
Nice,
like
dude.
I'm like almost 7. I'm almost 7 foot tall in this thing. So, it feels real nice.
Bro, I used to wear this top hat all the time. And I'm talking like during
Really?
the day. Yeah, like just out and about, dude.
I like it. It looks good on you, man. Like you pull off the top hat.
Thank you.
Like everybody. We were wondering what happened to the top hat. That was one of the. Looks like
It's hard. It's hard because I like have nice hair,
yeah.
so it's like
it's like a cowboy one.
Well, what happens is I like the curve here, and I like the flare at the top. Okay. So a lot of cylinder hats you get, they're just straight and then straight,
yeah.
And it's more of like a kind of older school dance, like Fred Astaire kind of thing, Okay. This for me, it's more my vibe.
Yeah. I think that it's what made you popular, dude.
Nah.
Like, I don't know.
Not blinking.
I see a man with a top hat. When I saw it, not blinking.
Not blinking was my key to success, bro. My earliest YouTubes, I'm like, blinking is for the weak. I will never blink. I don't even know what the fuck, like why. But your body, you're just talking to a camera alone, and you're like,
yeah. It is very
this is weird. Yeah.
Is that the first time that you've done, like, obviously you probably did a couple of other things, but like for your own, like.
When I first shot my YouTube videos, I was just like, yeah, the production quality was okay. Like I zoomed in too much, like a music video, but they pan out every once in a while. It was just too tight of a frame. So for what we're doing, we kind of want the same kind of frame that they have as a newscaster in the news. Right. Because they figured out what frames work well. And then blinking's nice if you can do it. It helps look human, You don't want to give them the Mark Zuckerberg data from Star Trek fucking,
Oh my god!
And then people would ask like, why are his pupils triangular?
Yeah, that was me. I pointed out they're triangular pupils. I think it was just because there was like a whiteness underneath.
Well, no, it's because I used a headshot setup from a guy named Mark Hurley, I believe, and he brings in his system is that he uses these expensive fluorescent tubes. I don't know if they're called D lights or something. It's like fucking like $3,000 for the lights. Damn. And then I just used like soft boxes with incandescent lights, which are better than. They're hotter, but they're more color accurate than any fluorescent light anyway. So like real candlelight and real incandescent lights are the best color rendering index you can get, CRI. When you use fluorescent or LED or I guess OLEDs, they don't produce white the same way. So like if you use most LEDs, they just don't produce blue the right way. So red. So like if you put an apple in front of a normal LED light and then in front of like an incandescent light bulb, like a halogen or something, the fruit looks more natural and real. So if you go to like a supermarket and the supermarket has any brain in their head, they're really illuminating their fruit with real ass lights like halogens.
Okay.
They're not using LEDs. Yeah. So if you go to like a good lighting store, you can have a box that has each light isolated into its own little box, and then you could take something and sit it in front of each light and say which one actually does the job right. Anyway, so in his setup, you end up with like a triangular shape, and then you see that in the eyes. And so, yes, it works nice, but like, I don't know.
Triangle pupils.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to do it again now, I'd probably just make a ring light of some sort because ring lights are pretty nice. But I'm not using that format anyway right now. I think this is a nicer format.
Oh yeah, that's good. All right, yeah, I'll get around the. I was one of my questions here is what like I saw that you said the 5G is above your head on a tweet. What is that thing? Is it just a light?
I set that up as a prop. So I have this like old because I used to live in hotels for 5 years, and then some countries their internet would be wrecked. So I just got like a sector antenna with an SMA cable, which is like an antenna cable that I could hook up to a war driving high sensitivity Orinco USB 802.11G card, right? So I have like a war driving kit that I'm not using for war drive. So war driving is when you like drive around a neighborhood looking for access points that aren't secured. And so you want like a really sensitive device and a large antenna. So I just got like a war driving kit for traveling the world. And then I just have it left over. Like I have all this shit left over. Like I have a portable printer, portable scanner that I've not used in like 10 fucking years, right? And then like war driving kit, you know, because, you know, I just had, what am I going to throw it out? I'm not going to throw it out, you know? And the world has moved on. Like we're on like 802.11 XYZ or some shit. And I'm like back on G, you know, with that stuff. So I just fucking stuck a label on that and just wrote 5G on it. And then I've got all these C stands, these Century stands for studio stuff. They're like, there's two ways to do studio stuff. You can have these collapsible, shitty, hollow aluminum things that are light and fall over. Or you can have these baller as fuck heavy aluminum C stands that like, they ain't falling over. They're hardcore. And so I have all this kit to just move shit around if I want. So I put the antenna like right over my head, you know? There's so much creative fun stuff I want to do, but the equity's not there.
You could do some funny, like, dude. I think that you could do it. I think that you could do it because you're pretty hilarious. I love your hilarity. So it's like, I think that you could make some pretty like some memeable videos for sure. Like, you know what I mean? I like some skits.
Particularly if you want to throw money at it. If you wanted to throw money at cool shit, think about all the cool shit that you could do.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
The trick. That's what I was telling you about this human resources thing earlier. So I'll let you know another, like, should I share this? Who's watching? Are competitors watching? I don't think they are.
Okay.
And they're too stupid to take my good advice anyway. So I'll share this with you.
True.
There's a cancer in the cryptocurrency community called bounties. Mm-hmm. Bounties suck dick. They're terrible. Why? So you aren't smart enough to find someone that's good at what they do. So what are you going to do? You're going to create a bounty. And the bounty is, hey, I want this thing done. So let's say for instance, you want to translate the website. Hey, somebody should make the HEX website in Indian. Okay. So we're going to have a bounty. This is a hypothetical. I'm not actually doing this. I'm telling you that this sucks. Right, yeah. So I'm definitely not doing it. And our bounty is, if you translate the HEX website into Indian, we're going to give you like, $1,000 HEX. One, you might be overpaying. It might cost less than that from someone that does it for a living. Two, what if 8 guys compete for that bounty? Now you've got 7 guys that just wasted their time. Right. What if you only let one of the guys reserve the bounty? Well, now you're fucked. What if he doesn't come through? So bounties are how people that aren't good at finding excellence try to make things happen. Right. And they're garbage. So I've had, and I've tried this. I'm not just saying this like theoretically. I have tried bounties and their results have been garbage. So I had like hey, make a good meme bounty. The result, the submissions were all garbage. And then the guy that won was the guy that posted like the Bitcoin $7,000 meme that was a copy of like a Bollywood thing with 7,000 put in there. I'm like, yeah, that won easily. So someone else could have won like $500 or whatever by posting a fucking okay crypto meme. It wasn't specific to HEX at all. And I've been completely disappointed with any bounty of that form. And here's the reason why that happens. What percentage, so let's say I was still in the Carstera business. What percentage of the people that are in my follower list want to buy a Carstera right now? Probably fucking nobody, right? It's just not the right fit, Right. Okay, so what percentage of the people are like badass graphic artists? Like 0.05%, maybe, right? And then you need to get them when they're not already swamped at work, actually like your idea, right? The people that you want to work with, they're not messaging you because they're fucking busy. So anyone that's messaging you already or wants to do your bounty, for the most part, it's because they're not actually that good at what they do. They're not top tier. So if you're making bounties, you're going to get dog shit results usually. If you want actual good results in this world, you need to hire people that don't want to work with you and have never heard of you and aren't cold calling you. You need to go and hunt them out if you want good things to happen. Could you get lucky? Sure, you could get lucky, but it would be luck. Right. You need to go do the hard work and find people that are good at what they do. Now, can I think of some places in my life where I wish I knew some people that were better at some shit? Yes, that's how we started this conversation, with me telling you. Right. I trade my other languages and I trade a lot of my technical knowledge for human resources knowledge, because finding the one guy that can actually do the job well is worth everything, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because these other guys waste your time, give you shit results, and then charge the fuck out of you, and then call you an asshole when they're done. You're like, all right, well, fucking, I wish we never did any of that, you know?
Well, it sounds like you found the correct developer, because from what we hear from all the people, the developer that developed Hex was like the mastermind,
He's
top of the top. But which I don't know how much you could talk about him. What you know, like what are
not at all. I don't say anything about him.
Okay, I was just wondering. Just how badass he is. I just wanted, you know, like.
Here's the thing, right? There are shitloads of really good developers, nowhere near crypto. There are shitloads of good affiliate marketers, nowhere near crypto. There are shitloads of really good graphic artists, nowhere near crypto. Crypto's full of mostly losers, truthfully.
Right.
These are not. Have you seen the production quality on, like, you and I run really good crypto streams. Have you seen what a lot of other crypto streams look like?
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's like comb your fucking hair, get a couple props, fix your fucking mic gain, right? Like, Jesus Christ, there's kids. There's like 8-year-olds crushing the production quality levels of these fucking people. And you're just like, dude, just why not just do it better? Like, literally anything that you want to do well, you could literally just go on YouTube and search it and watch one goddamn video. Like, how did I learn lighting? I went on YouTube and was like, lighting. And they're like, oh, there's the 3-light setup that you use for interviews. And you're like, all right, I want to learn. I want it to look better. Headshots. You just fucking Google it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was making some pasta today.
I did all my stuff. Yeah.
I was making pasta today, and I'm like, all right, I don't know how long to leave this shit in there for. YouTube. How long do I leave the fucking pasta in there for? 7 minutes. Okay, I'm going to try it. You know? You just Google. Like, I'm constantly learning new stuff every day. Every day.
Yeah.
And why? Probably because I don't have the human resources as good as I'd like. Because, like, I know if I learn it, the shit will be right. But if I give it to, like, one idiot and then another idiot and then I have to keep training idiots, and it's just like, dude, I could have fucking done this. Like, I didn't need to train 4 idiots. Like,
is that one of the, like, downfalls of owning a business? Because I've never owned, like, a business and hired people. Is that, like, something that you have to always be like
it depends on what skill you're operating at.
True.
Oh, bro, you're gonna have churn. You're gonna have turnover. You're gonna have bad employees stay. You're gonna have good employees leave. Having a bad employee stay is the worst thing. Yeah. People confuse why businesses exist, and then they get into. So when I was younger, I thought having more employees was better. So I was like, I got 150 employees. How badass is that? And then as you become more wise, you're like, actually, no employees would be best. People would still get their products and services and be very happy. All of these people could go do something more productive with their lives that in certain cases they might even have more growth potential in, right? Like, if you're a call center rep, what's your path to more money? There ain't none. You're stuck right there. So that's not a great job, right? So if you've got any kind of business that has a lot of call center reps, you should be trying to free those human beings to go do something more productive with their lives and automate that if it can be automated. And just like most meetings could have been emails and most video calls could have been voice calls, a lot of calls to call center reps are due to bad documentation and bad business process that generates people having problems and having to call you. So you can fix a lot of those things before they ever happen. So you learn that. You're like, yeah, I wish I had less employees. For me, less overhead and more efficiency is more beautiful. And I don't need for my identity or my ego to try and lock more people in a room from this hour to that hour, and we call those employees.
Right.
You know, so I learned that. I was like, oh. And then if you see something that's not working, just quit that shit earlier. It's not working. You know, rotate faster. So like you learn these tactics. I've done a lot of businesses, I've done a lot of businesses, and I read constantly business things. So it sticks, and you get these good ideas, you know?
Yeah, I forgot who I don't know if it was Tony. No, I don't know if it was Tony Robbins, but he said pretty much like, if there's like a turd in the punch bowl, are you going to drink the punch?
Definitely not Tony Robbins.
But it's like, that's how that's kind of how it is if you have a bad employee, where it's just like, if you got one bad person, it kind of spreads to everybody else, and then everybody else.
And it prevents you from seeing how awesome that job could have been done if the right guy was in that position. So, I mean, I got to tell you, HEX came out a year later than it could have had because I believed the stories I was being told by certain devs.
Right.
Code wasn't being written. Code was supposed to be written. Stories were being told. The code wasn't written. So if you have devs and they're not typing code, they're stealing your money. Now, I mean, look, a lot of development time is just thought. So depending on the complexity of the project you're working on, like HEX is actually a very complicated project, and we ran into bugs with game theory that took months to figure out. Like, it was hard as fuck. So from this perspective, the majority of dev time in HEX was thinking time, not writing time. But for the majority of development, the writing time, it matters, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So like if you're doing, like, if you're solving problems for the first time, thinking matters more. If you're just implementing shit that's been solved 50 other times and you can you can search your solutions on Stack Overflow, you need to be typing a lot.
Yeah.
If you're not typing, if your hands aren't on the keyboard, you're just fucking around. You're reading Twitter, you're doing meta work that you think's work. You're checking Slack and shit. That's not work. You know, the best, if you guys see me not tweeting, feel good. Because tweeting is for me similar to that ephemeral news shit, right?
Right.
I mean, think about, I have taken the low hanging fruit from Twitter. I really have. You know, if I'm gonna get more fruit from Twitter, I don't know, man. I've had a bunch of I've been working on that shit for a long time. It's good. We're gonna get most of our growth from places that aren't there, in my opinion, or at least are not crypto Twitter. I mean, Twitter is actually a gigantic platform, and we're just isolated in this little tiny little subsection. I mean, how many viewers do we even have? How many viewers do we even have right now? I can see on my side, I've only got 280.
On DLive I have 270. I can't see anywhere else. So let's see.
You want to know how pitiful those numbers are in the real world?
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, compared to some things, though, like, I mean, it is like if I go up on stage every week, and talk to 100 people, because that's how, for somebody that's never done anything like this and getting 100 people back when I was getting 100, it was just like, man, I couldn't speak it. Like a year ago, I wouldn't be able to be up in front of 100 people and go, hi, everybody. Like it was just completely, I didn't even think like that. It was just like, it completely blows my mind. But I understand what you're saying. Where it's just like,
remember, positive me sees the opportunity in this. Hey, look, we have $1 billion cryptocurrency and we've only got 500 people watching. Imagine if we had 50,000 watching. That's the reality, right? Like we should be happy that we're able to do the amazing things that we are with the few people that are involved. Imagine if more people, right? Like, holy shit, What if there were a HEX con and you go to the, like, big event, right? And like, holy shit, there's like a stage and it's fucking skylights with the HEX logo on clouds and shit, which actually doesn't work.
That's what's a big payday. big payday, dude. Big payday party. That's what I like. Maybe not this year. Maybe not this year, but soon. Maybe, a couple of years from now.
I hope you have a cool turnout there, man. I hope you do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are probably going to come, and I do like meeting the guys that are in the community. It sounds like it's like, honestly, like, it's cool because I see a lot of other, like Bitcoin communities. It seems like so dreary and so like, hey, everybody, and like the Hex community, it seems like everybody's like on everybody else's side. Like everybody moved over to DLive after my YouTube channel.
That is pretty cool.
270 people. I was getting 170 people on YouTube. And so it's like,
I got to tell you, that's actually really, really.
And we're like number 1 on DLive right now, I guess is what they're saying. So it's just like, I mean, that's why I like this community. It's just like we all kind of, you've talked about it where we will rally around each other and be like, yo, stop picking on this guy, or somebody says something, talk shit on Hex, and it's like, no, how's your coin doing? Let's hear what your coin projections are there, bro.
So like, I think, like, I'm just guessing. I think that I talk smart enough that I alienate some people, and then the people that like me and like Hex are just smarter people, I think. Because we have a really useful, smart, like, I'm impressed with the community, Yeah. If you go into other coins chats, you don't see a lot of intelligent comments. And you're just like, I don't want to be here. It sucks, Yeah. These are not winners. Yeah. So like, I'm very happy with the level of discourse that we have in the chats and in the community. And then I think we also, the draconian, you think you could troll here, banned. I think that works so well. Because all those guys that just want to waste time and drunk post and shit, go fuck around somebody else's chat room, man.
Yeah.
We're here to do amazing things.
To do. Yeah.
And I think another great innovation is we have a bear channel. You want to be bearish? Cool. We have a channel for this shit. Go over there.
Right.
This is the bull channel. We're here to promote Hex. That's what the primary goal of this thing is. We're not here to talk about censorship.
Yeah. They can't get too upset because it's like, well, we have
go to the bear
channel just for you.
Be pessimistic as you like over there. The bulls will always be right sometimes. The bears will always be right sometimes. The price is going to go up and down. So we have both. I think that's really cool,
Yeah. No, it is.
Who else has that? You think there's a Bitcoin chat room that has a bear chat? Nope. It's not out there.
Not that I guess not that the owner the founder or whatever put together for him, at least.
Well, fucking anywhere. Where's the Bitcoin bear chat? There's not one. There's just not. Like, there is not one. There is a Hex bear chat. Period. It's that fucking simple. Like,
All right. Well, I got a question for you. A question for you.
Yeah.
So I read in your book, in the Sci-Fi book, there is the Richard Buddha learning journey story. Is there?
Jesus, it's not even ringing a bell. Refresh my memory.
It was a section. It was like the Richard Buddha learning, Buddha. It was like the Richard Buddha story, learning journey story. Is this?
I think I know what that is supposed to be. Was it completed or was it like a stub?
No, it wasn't completed. It was just like, this is something that you should talk about, or
sure. Yes, it is. So I know what it means encoded. When I was growing up, we read a book called Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, I think. And it talks about the life journey of someone that might have been Buddha. And, he did something, can't remember what, and then he did business, and then he tried to fuck as much as he could, and then he did this, and then he did that, and he had a really well-rounded life, and he tried all the things. And then I've kind of done that too, right? You're like, all right, gonna go work for a living. All right, fuck, this sucks. Now what? All right, well, we're gonna try school. Let's get the hell out of here. This sucks too, right? So like, skip your senior year, get your college paid for free, take that government money, early admissions. Don't waste your last year of high school doing nothing anyway. Taking wood shop and other bullshit classes just to because that's what everyone else does.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, decide what you want to do with your life. Well, I want to be rich. Okay, well, who's rich? Lawyers, doctors, business people. Okay, how long to be a lawyer? 7 years, costs money. All right, fuck that. How long to be a doctor? Like 7 years plus, costs money. Okay, business? I know retards that make money in business. Shit, let's go do that. All right, all right. Well, you ain't got no money, you can't start a business yet. Okay, well, who's the highest paid profession? Sales. All right, I'll just do that. So it's like, you're presented with these choices and you just make what's like the obvious fucking choice. You're like, yeah, well, the highest paid profession is sales, so I'll go learn sales. Oh, fucking the people that appear to make the most money with the least input time are business people. Well, fucking go do business. And then you go through life and you accumulate all these things. And then you reach this, like, I don't want to call it enlightenment or whatever, but you're like, you've seen that, you know where it goes, you know? Yeah. So when I go out into the world and I see people in certain places, I understand a lot of the time what they're going through because I have been there, you know? Like, so I think that stub was supposed to talk about having a well-rounded story in life and, you know, because if you think about it, every belief system has themes that rhyme, you know?
Right.
So like balance is one of those themes. So you've got yin and yang, like the Jesuit priests who were like the worldly priests. Like they're like, yeah, we're into money too. So we're into Christ. That's cool. But we also like money. And they've turned out great. Like this guy, Balthazar Gracian, real smart dude. You should read his book, The Art of Worldly Wisdom. He says, like, never eat to fullness. That's great advice. It's actually great advice. Dude, when I, like, overeat, I'm fucking tired. Yeah. So now, for the night, you're like, and then are you burning a lot of calories while you're sleeping? Not really. Oh. And why do you eat? To, like, have energy to live. Okay, then you overeat. Yeah. Well, now we're going to do something that looks dissimilar from living. We're just going to go into this state here, you know? So there's great advice that's hundreds, thousands of years old, you know? And SciVive it's basically a guide where if you're willing to engage your brain, I'm going to try and get you the best results I can out of your life with minimal bullshit, you know? If you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you should do that, go do it, you know? Most books you read have not a fucking thing you can actually do. You hear about the author, you hear about his past, he's going to name drop some famous people to you. Okay, great. Okay, now what do you want me to do? What am I doing? What am I doing here? A lot of writing. Okay. What do you want me to do? I want results. I bought this fucking book because I want results. What is it that I can really do? And most books leave you just assed out. Like you can't get any gains from that. Like, I don't know why I call it HEX. SciVive is, I keep on like the HEX book. I'm so used to HEX. SciVive is, by the way, HEX is such a better brand than like everything. Like, SciVive sucks as a brand compared to HEX. HEX is a single word. You can't misspell it. It's fucking great.
I accidentally say it all the time to my family and my wife. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go get some HEX. I mean, food.
No shit. Wow.
Like what you just did. I always am like saying HEX. I'm like, I don't know. It's always in my brain. I think everybody else is like that too. It seems like the community is like, you've got, you know, like everybody else is kind of just very much in it.
Yeah. Think about how bad of a brand Ethereum is. Everyone misspells it. So is it like Ethereum or Ethereum with an I there? It's a terrible brand name. Bitcoin, not actually a good brand name. No. It's like, you know, what are good brand names? Amazon, Google, Yahoo. Okay, those are actually good brand names. That's how it works. Sorry, making up stupid words is what works, but hey, it is. So Apple, you think they sell fruit? You think they sell fucking apples there at Apple? No, they don't. But it's a great brand, isn't it? HEX is a fucking great brand. Fabulous.
And you can enter it into anything like HEXologist or, you know, it's just like everybody always comes up with some random.
I went through the dictionary and
I guess. There you go. It's like, You just put Hex in front of everything.
I love it.
It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. I mean, even Amazon doesn't have that. You can't be like,
True.
oh, I'm an Amazonologist, or
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, I guess you could, but it's like it doesn't sound as good as HEXologist or what
It's the best
Hexalink
brand in crypto, easily. And when I
is.
look at
It is.
logos, like, let me think. I was looking at advertisements in newspapers, and I was looking at the logos of other advertisements in the newspaper, and those logos look like shit.
Yeah.
So the HEX logo looks so good. And if it were to appear in a newspaper, I think that it would stand out next to other things.
Right. Yeah.
There's also what can I say? I believe that there will be some form of public address posted where people will be able to donate to digital currency awareness, in particular HEX stuff. Okay. But kind of waiting on the right verbiage from legal on how to explain that,
Yeah.
Because I think it would be neat, and apparently someone else thought as well, that it would be neat if there was an entity that people could donate to anonymously that would then do cool shit, cool HEX shit,
Right.
I think that's neat.
Yeah.
It's just tricky because we don't do expectations of others. And so if there's someone else in the world that wants to do that other expectations of others shit, but it's a donation kind of thing, it's separate, It's very important that it is separate. So
right.
Waiting for legal and all that stuff.
Well, I can't wait.
Yeah. Cause imagine there was an entity going out there and spreading awareness of HEX effectively, and then people would chuck money at it. That'd be cool, I think that'd be great. It's just, this would be so much easier to do if it was like a security,
Right. Yeah.
Because then you could do.
Well, it sounds like XRP got the pass, so maybe I don't know.
That's what's so funny to me, dude.
Cryptos are securities anymore. It doesn't sound like anything could be a security.
I don't understand it, right? So I do the opposite of what everyone else does. Charlie Lee founded Litecoin. He's like, hey, we're getting confidential transactions. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Dumps on everybody's fucking heads. Like, okay, well, where's the confidential transactions, man? We didn't get them. You scammed us. Oh, we're doing lots of development, and then you find out they're not doing any development. They're the foundation's broke. Then no one's committing fucking code. You're that's a scam. You guys are trying to pump the fucking price, but you're not actually doing the work that you said you was going to do.
Yeah.
That's a scam. And then everyone does that shit, right? XRP guy. Oh, we're teaming up with all those banks. What does that really mean? It means you're trying to pump the price. But really, you're dumping on everybody's fucking heads all the time. And then when you do team up with these people, the fucking price don't go up. So, scamming, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it legal? I think it is legal, but they should be aware of what they're doing,
Yeah.
Look, guys, they're telling you that all this future shit's going to exist, and then they want your money now. But look at how I do it.
Yeah.
It's all vacuous rumors and there's absolutely no guarantees whatsoever, or even hard expectations, right?
No. And I think that's another thing that makes HEX really good is everybody knows that it's a complete product is what we, and it's nice actually knowing that we don't have to rely on another person to pump our bags because it's just it's done. It's completed. We don't have to, if something else does come and it wants to pump, that's awesome. But it's
also a separate thing. It's just an unrelated separate thing.
Right.
So if, all these people that have built on top of HEX, that it doesn't have any, it's like building on top of Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's good for Bitcoin if you build on top of it. It's good for HEX if you build on top of it. but they're separate things, you know?
Right.
It's like gas in your car. Like your car runs on gas, but you ain't getting gas. Like when you buy your car, you're not getting gas, right? They're separate. The gas and the car are separate, even though they're related. And it's the same with HEX. So all this other stuff that's being built around HEX, it's not HEX.
Yeah.
So like, it's neat that it's just the way, it's the same way like if Ethereum improves, HEX gets the benefits from those improvements.
Yeah.
That's great, you know? Imagine an alternate reality that I wasn't playing the legal game so strict and going above and beyond the call. Like I won't ever make a forward-looking price statement with HEX. Never made one. But with Bitcoin, I'm like, yeah, you know, 20K seems reasonable, blah, 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 you know, all this stuff. I won't do that with HEX. Now, how many other founders are willing to talk about price?
Right.
Everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't talk about price in HEX, but everyone else talks about their bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I don't talk about fucking promises and all this stuff. Everyone else does, and they profit from that shit. So everyone else is out there selling you promises for stuff that's not complete. HEX is complete, you know? And that's what I find so funny is like, crypto is a world, and ICOs is a world, and even securities in general is a world where people sell you a big vision of the future to get your money today, and then they fuck you over and don't do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and over again. All the time, you know? And how many projects are actually done and work perfectly and can't be edited and can't be changed? It's like almost no one, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
All this DeFi shit has voting and admin keys. Yeah, so they could vote to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And the admin keys could just vote, make everything stop working. HEX doesn't have that.
Right.
And all this shit with promises, like the Factum guys, I'm sure they made lots of promises and hype bullshit. Okay, well, now they're bankrupt. Yeah. How'd that work out? Right? IOTA, trinary. Fuck binary, we're going to do trinary. Okay, well, you lost everyone's private keys. Not everyone, but a whole lot of private keys. You lost them. You failed the worst possible, imaginable way you could possibly fail. Call it quits. Go home. Stop. You ain't cut out for this game. You've been fucking up for years.
Right, yeah.
Unimaginable fuck ups. I don't never heard of anyone else losing an entire crypto. Like, you lost the private key. How? What? It's not even like it's not impossible. I don't even understand how you could do it.
Yeah.
So I love HEX.
So
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best thing ever,
Yeah.
dude. Like you asked me today, so you were like, "Are you flexible to do this?" And I was like, "Well, HEX is my only job, bro."
It's fucking
it's
great,
the only
man.
thing I do. So yeah.
Dude, it's only 6 months
I'm always
old.
sociable.
It's only 6 months old.
It's great.
I mean, fuck. The opportunity is gigantic. Gigantic.
Yeah.
Remember this. I was around when Bitcoin started. We are so far ahead of when Bitcoin and Ethereum started, and XRP and everything else. So far ahead. So far. And in some ways, we're ahead of where they are now. So it's like, we did that in 6 months. And without a centralized entity. Truly decentralized. I keep hearing about shit that's been built or being built that I hadn't heard of before. Like the guy today that's doing the press release, like, have Richard on your show thing, like the description. He made a cut video of everyone calling me a scammer. It's fucking hilarious. Because people want to interview the drama, right? Or whatever.
Right, yeah.
So he made a cut video of like everybody that's called me a scammer. It is funny, dude. It's like... because they're all wrong. Imagine you're like, don't claim HEX, you're gonna lose your private keys. Well, worked out for over $2 billion of Bitcoin. Worked out just fine.
Almost three.
Yeah,
it's getting close to 3.
Apparently, I've been quoting that number low because the number I'm quoting is after whale penalties. The actual number is larger.
Oh, okay.
So I need to update my language to support a larger Bitcoin claim number. Because I'm quoting it like net after penalties when I could be quoting it gross before penalties, which is more accurate because that's how much they have, you know?
Right.
So I'm underestimating how many Bitcoin has been claimed. Yeah, like, what more could you want? 100% uptime, 116x in 129 days. Oh no, we had a dip. Oh God, we're down to 50x. Oh,
right. Yeah.
Woe is me.
Yeah.
50x in 6 months. Oh my God.
Right.
Like, what are all the bullshit people said? Exit scam.
Yeah.
Everything looks like it keeps getting better somehow. There's more people in the chat. It's on more exchanges. There's more liquidity. I don't. What the fuck? What?
Right.
Exit what? Exit what? There's no.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't get how you can exit scam it. It would still.
You're never
be
in
there.
it. You can't exit something you're not in.
It would still work. Yeah, it would still work if you were, if let's just say the origin address was gone and all of the other Ethereum and all of the hex was gone from that.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It would still be running and it'd still work, and it's still, it's like I just don't think that they understand.
Well, they're not. They are not used to seeing something that's actually decentralized. In their shitty little rat brains,
right.
They're thinking, this must be a company, and I must rely on their statements for pump my bags. So I need some central entity to promise to pump my bags, and then I can yell at them. They're not pumping them hard enough. That's what they want. That's what they require. They don't understand actual decentralization. I see this shit all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
You're like,
I mean, it is pretty nuanced, the whole decentralization thing. I mean, like, honestly, are you the first one that has ever made anything decentralized?
Well,
the first product
Bitcoin
ever in the entire.
Bitcoin was, like,
True.
it was decentralized. Like, who built it? Nobody fucking knows, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows who built that shit.
Yeah.
And then he handed the keys to another guy, and then they got handed to another guy. So it went from Satoshi to Gavin Anderson to Peter Woolley. And who knows who will get them next? They will be handed off again at some point. So, Bitcoin is decentralized, and it just drives me crazy that, like, let's say you go onto one of these exchange websites and you click like list. A lot of these exchange sites have a list option, right? They'd be like, "Who's the CEO?" Okay, ain't no CEO. Okay, what's his address? Ain't no address. All right, where's the team? There's no team. Okay, like, why are you asking us all these stupid questions? We're actually a decentralized cryptocurrency,
right?
Like Bitcoin. You guys listed Bitcoin, right? Okay. Well, what did you put for the CEO? Okay. Well, update your shit. There's no centralized entity here, man. It's decentralized.
Yeah.
But they're not. Their brains can't handle it. They're just like, huh?
Yeah, they don't get it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just gone back to where we were right before, 2010. We're in 2010 where everybody's calling Bitcoin a scam, but it's 2020 and they're in.
Right, it went up to 20K.
History
like,
is
it's still just about 10K. That's actually up a lot. Like, when I started talking about Bitcoin publicly, it was $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
I can't.
I think it was less than that. Well,
I can't remember
because I got in at the end of 2016, and I think I saw your videos.
Okay.
Right when I was getting in, so it was like 900 to 1100.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. Like,
yeah, I can't.
When I got in, it was fucking 50 cents when I was mining it. So.
Jeez. Yeah.
And I bought a nice chunk at 30. Joy.
Well, what is that one video of you in 2014 when you see yourself?
Yeah, I was at this event in Amsterdam. Yeah, I'm in the background.
And is that the one where you saw Brian Armstrong?
Yeah. So I was talking to. Yeah, I was going through those videos. I was talking to the counterparty guys upstairs, and I was talking to a bunch of banker guys, and then they were interviewing like one of these early Bitcoin devs, and I was like in the background there. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be on camera. Let's go talk over in this other spot. And then like downstairs, like it was like a 3-day event. This was like the second time I met Roger. The first time I met Roger was like at an event a year earlier in Amsterdam. And then this was the second time I met him. And then the second time I met Adam Back. And first time I met Gavin Anderson. First time I met Peter Todd. John Matonis, like Bitcoin Foundation guys. I was even at the Mastercoin dinner, which turned into Omni. Like all old school stuff. So I was in the back of the like area where they sell stuff, you know, like the booths.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Fred Ersham was in the back there. I was chatting with him about, you know, because I always wanted to market Bitcoin, but there's no fucking profit margin. So you're just like, yeah, if I spend $20 to onboard a new user, I lost $20.
Right.
So how the fuck can't buy ads? Because I'm used to buying ads. That's what I did, you know. That's how I got rich. And I just could never do it for Bitcoin. Didn't have the margin for it.
Right.
So I had that conversation with him. And then, so Fred and Brian, so Brian Armstrong and Fred Ersham, I believe, were co-founders of Coinbase. And then, we were just talking it up. So I can't remember if I spoke to Brian, but I know I talked to Fred, the co-founder. Yeah.
I can't believe Peter McCormick said that he wanted you to talk to Brian Armstrong.
It's like
I was like, what? I don't know if you.
I unblocked him.
Like he got wrecked.
Yeah, so I forgot optimum game theory. So optimum game, like, so when people call hex scam, I'm just like block. But it's not optimal. What's optimal is if you ain't got no followers and you call me or hex scam, I'm blocking you.
Right.
But if you do have a lot of followers, I'm gonna let you keep talking shit.
Yeah, because you just give them free publicity.
Yep. So I unblock Peter.
Yeah.
Your viewers want to be exposed to reality and truth, bring them to me. I will show them the truth. So I unblocked him. There's other people. I think because Tone blocked me, which is weird. I don't even post on his posts. Like, he blocked me.
Oh, really?
So then anytime someone blocks me, I like block them back. But then I thought, you know what? He's got followers. Unblock. Come talk shit.
Yeah.
Right. I savaged him so hard in Singapore in person that,
he's good at doing it himself at this point. Yeah,
no pun.
You ruined him, and then he ruins himself. It's just it's the downhill.
Yeah.
Run for Coinbase. It looks like at this point. I was looking at his YouTube videos the other day, and he was only getting like 120, 150 viewers on.
Yeah, well, when you lose people money over a couple of years, eventually they just get tired of losing. You know.
Yeah.
They're like, this game's no fun.
Yeah, which is like, you know, I felt bad for him at a certain point, but then now I don't. Now I don't feel bad for him.
It's like, imagine being a scammer for a living, feeding people into a margin trading meat grinder where the vast majority of them are going to lose and be emotionally and physically harmed and have their relationships harmed. And then you add on to that, adding insult to injury, charging them for the privilege of learning how to lose money as a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So like,
I love how you tell him that, and he just sits there at that one conference.
And then you rip off his whole indicator is literally a rip off of Tom DeMark, and Tom DeMark sells products. You can go buy them from him. So why
really?
the fuck?
I thought he was dead. I didn't know that he was actually still alive.
Yes, he's alive. Go give Tom DeMark your money, not this idiot. Like, I just fucking. So, are cryptocurrencies the highest appreciating asset class in mankind? Yes. Have even the shittiest, scammiest cryptocurrencies giving the opportunity to make a fucking lot of money? Yes. Yes, they did. Even the biggest piece of shit in the world, if you got it at the right time, you could do amazing.
Right.
But trading, everyone gets fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
I think being a shitcoiner, a pure shitcoiner scammer, is better than trading, because at least a couple motherfuckers actually make money on the fucking the shittiest of shit if they get out at the right time, right? But in trading, bro, you're getting fucked. You're getting wrecked.
Yeah.
And it's so this is gonna be a weird balance. I'm pretty sure at some point somebody's gonna let Hex margin trade, and I know there's people working on it. Yeah. So when that happens, I'm gonna tell people about it. And I'm going to tell them they're likely to get wrecked and are too dumb to take my advice. And so if you just have to get wrecked here with less counterparty risk.
Yeah.
Have fun, right? But it's such like a weird art, right? It's like, I'd be happy if no one ever got wrecked, right? Like I'd be happy
Right.
if we lived in a perfect world. But if people are gonna get wrecked, better you get wrecked here than there.
Right.
You know? So it's like a weird kind of balancing act you got to do. It's just like eating food that's like chocolate. Like, do I need to eat chocolate? No, but that shit tastes pretty good. So it's like, did I need to sleep an extra hour? Well, no, but you know what, man? That snooze button looked nice. So you do have to. It's balance, man.
Outweigh them. Yeah. I got a question. In Sci-Vibe, you talk about having a good memory. What are some ways that you accomplish having a better memory, or what are some things that you like that you do that help you have a better memory? Because you talk about like letting computers pretty much do what computers do and not memorizing things, and it's pretty lame that we just learn more logic and not about memory or not memory, but menial tasks, I guess. Like if a computer can do it, why use your brain power to?
Yeah, your phone will beat a chess grandmaster for sure, 100%. So why are you gonna waste your time with that shit?
That was.
Everybody's got a phone. So from the memory, it's basically the best memory in the world is shittier than a pencil. Pencil's going to remember better. You just write it down.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to be using your memory if you don't have to be. Let your device do that for you. Let a pen and pencil do that for you, and leave your consciousness free to do other things that they can't do. So just storing data for the most part sucks. You don't want to get better at it. However, the world was not always that way. People didn't just have notepads and shit way back when. They didn't have pencils. Things were harder way back when. So they invented something called the method of loci, which you can look up on Wikipedia. It's got another name that I can't remember off the top of my head, but you make a mental map of a house in your brain. It could be your house that you live in. And then things that you want to remember, you virtually peg them to locations in your house in your mind. And you can use this to count cards if you want to, win money at a casino until they catch you and ban you. And then you're banned everywhere else because they all subscribe to like a blacklist. You can use this to remember names. You can, if you must remember things, this is a way that you can do it. And then, so there's tricks you can use, like adding, so your brain's programmed to pay attention to food and sex and violence. And so if you attach food, sex, and violence to the pegs, the things that you're pegging, then they're more likely to stick. Or you could just skip the mnemonic technique. So, there are other mnemonic techniques. This is the most popular one. You could just skip those and use better systems with pen or paper or phone. It's just like, imagine how hard it would be to wake up when you need to wake up just using your brain. Right. You'd be fucked. Alarms are really useful. Yeah. And having a schedule or planner, like my alarm went off and said, hey, I got to stream with HEX tonight. Like, okay, cool. Way better to just have an alarm that works than to like try and make my brain work better. So what I've told you is, here's how you can memorize things better, and you shouldn't even bother fucking with that. You should just have your systems work better for you. Is my opinion.
What about so I know that you did like Tony Robbins stuff, like peak. Do you do like the peak state? Do you like it talks about it in your book too?
I don't use it very often, but sure. I mean, like if I'm gonna bench press, like I'll inhale a bit to get some extra oxygen in there, because it's like an anaerobic activity. Like when you're doing that lift, you're really not using the oxygen that's outside your body. You're really just using whatever is already in there. So that's the closest to a peak state that I get. But I mean, so he has a ritual that he does,
Right.
And it works. So if you have a ritual that gets you into a state commonly, it is effective and it does work. I don't have as strict a guideline of a ritual, but I have the themes in my head that, okay, I'm going to go do this. I need this posture. I need this mindset. I need this facial expression. You know, I don't think I've ever given a bad talk. They're all amazing, right? Like, because that I'm just used to being that way because I've trained to be that way. So for me, it's not a ritual that I'm doing with an incantation. It's just, I kind of know the way I need to be, the state I need to be in, and then I just do it. So it's more just something I've practiced. But if you didn't naturally have the ability to do that, you could get there very reliably using a ritual that puts you in the right state, right? So he's hitting his chest and standing up strong and saying, you know, give me the strength to do this and all, you know. Yeah. And he does that often, and it works, you know.
And his shit works. You did do his class because you said that you did his Date with Destiny.
I've done Date with Destiny like 3 times. Oh, I've been a coach. Wow. Yeah, well, not a coach, but in their leadership academy. I've spent like $100,000 on that shit.
I
it's
used
really
to
good.
Listen to his, I mean, not used to. I mean, 6 months ago, before I got into HEX, that's all I did. Like before I listened to Richard Hart talk, because I listened to you, so I know the material a little bit better. So I'm not like this dummy that's just talking to everybody. But before that, I would listen to Tony Robbins, and you kind of put me onto him. I listened to him a little bit before, but. You said that you did a lot of his stuff.
His stuff's quite good. I mean, so it is. Yeah. A very small percentage of it is bad.
Right.
So like 85% of it is great. It's like, so Date with Destiny is by far the best one. You know, Money Mastery is kind of meh. If you go to his island in Fiji, which I've been to, you know, you're going to fast for a week. Yeah. And then you're going to walk.
You fast for the whole week? Like you don't get to eat anything? I know he doesn't let you eat like when you go to those things, then you get to eat like 1 time a day or something like that.
You're going to have a lot less calories than you're used to. And you're going to be awake for a lot longer than you're used to. And you're going to get more value than you thought you would get. So if you do his like $300, it might be $500 now. If you do his like Unleash the Power Within stuff, you walk on burning coals there.
Yeah.
And then you think like, we're going to go there, we're going to make progress. And then we're going to walk on burning coals at the end. And it's like, you're going to walk burning coals the first day. And then once you see that that's easy, then all this other shit's going to be easier for you too.
Okay, you know? That makes sense.
I always burn my feet on the fucking things. Because like I have giant feet, and then at the end, if you don't kick the fucking coals off, you will burn your foot.
Stick.
So I always have one fucker that like sticks on there that I don't like get off. It burnt my foot twice.
Hilarious.
What else? Yeah, you know, walk burning coals 2 or 3 times. Jumped off a telephone pole on a trapeze, which, by the way, didn't hang on. Thought it would be awesome. Couldn't hang on. Fat ass. Stronger now. Maybe it could work out now. You're like, man, this can be awesome. I'm gonna fucking hang on there. Nope. Just bloop, blop. Look like a bitch. Didn't go the way I thought. Gotta practice this shit, man. I am a trapeze artist. I'm gonna jump on some trapeze.
It's the first time, yeah.
This is my first go around here. Yeah. What else? I'm telling you, like, go on Netflix, watch I'm Not Your Guru. Okay. It shows you what happens at Date with Destiny. It's fucking cool. It's really cool. You learn that like what people say their problem is, it's not actually their problem. They've got some other problem. They don't understand what the problem is they have. There's male and female energies. People wear masks to interact with other people. You get into these habits. Everyone has a system of things that they care about, and they're in a different order. So some people put adventure at the top of the list. Some people put certainty at the top of the list. Some put significance at the top of the list. Some put connection at the top of the list. Some put growth at the top of the list. And then depending on where you have, and most people have never decided this, they just inherited it randomly by chance or possibly some part genetics. You know, in order for you to achieve your ultimate destiny, you need to have your beliefs and the things you care about in this order, or you'll have the following challenges, is the format that you're taught to like structure your life, to design your destiny, what you want to do with your life. So if you want to be, and he tells stories, he's like, you know, I was he was putting together a talking program, and he was working with Guthrie Renker, who's like the biggest at the time tape producer. You know, like if you had
VHS?
audio tapes, cassette tapes at the time is how you would spread this type of data before the internet existed. He thought, I really want to make this. I want to not just work harder. I want to work smarter. So I'm going to cut a really good deal here, And what I'll tell you, one of the things that I got from Tony that I thought was really interesting, and probably there's a shitload of things, but one of these was, he used to be like a tax denier. And he was like, fuck this. I'm not going to let him tax me and all that shit. And he says he became more free when he quit trying to be free. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Let's think about that. So you have guys that hide. Right. They don't want anyone to know they exist. I used to do that. But now I have a YouTube channel. Well, which way worked better? The YouTube channel did. Right. So I became more free by allowing myself less freedom in a certain place. Anonymity, right? And so it's this really interesting dynamic of you will be more cool if you quit trying to be cool. You will be more free if you quit trying to be free. True. And that's fucking like, that's cool shit. I'll tell you another one. So you go to this Unleash the Power Within, right? 3-day thing. And he's telling you, okay, look, you guys out there, you've got limiting beliefs. Some of you think you're too old. Some of you think you're too fat. Some of you think you aren't smart enough. Some of you think you don't have the money. Some of you don't think you have the time. Everyone, go write down what it is that you think's holding you back. And I'm like, that's stupid. I know what I am. I don't believe any of that. And he says, okay, now for you guys out there that don't think you have any limiting beliefs, you just found your first limiting belief. Shit. Huh. Okay, let me think about this. Well, I guess I am fat, and so I guess I have some belief that that's okay, because I'm not really working on it at the time any hard, right? So I guess I have like a hidden belief that it's okay to be fat. Oh, shit. Well, I guess I do have a limiting belief. Oh, fuck me, right? And then
start cascading down.
Well, it's because for me, it's weird that like in the events, I would be an outlier, like a hard outlier, Right. Like everyone else would have like limiting beliefs and I wouldn't. And then my shit would just be harder to find. And then I was at an event in San Diego, and the learning, the thing you were supposed to learn from the exercise, this was a leadership academy. Where it's like one step before being a trainer, right? Like you're going to run the events and shit. Mm-hmm. The learning exercise was that what makes a thing good or bad is often just people calling it that. It's not actually the thing. It's like the label that people are assigning the thing. Mm-hmm. And then they like phrase the exercise with like a logical question that like, if the person drew this, then you get this outcome. And if they drew that, they got that outcome. And I was the only person out of like, I don't know, 200 people or something that just would not get it. I wouldn't get it because it's not logical. Right. And my brain is like, no, you said it was that. And now you're saying it's this. So I don't give a fuck. We're going to be here all day long. Right. I don't know, But the game was that there was like a meta game, like a side channel that wasn't declared, and then everyone kind of figured that out. And I was like, nah, I'm in this game here. So like fucking it's just.
So is it just because you were too logical? Like you were too like you were.
I think I think
break it down too much
because
that other people wouldn't.
There's this. If you're trying to find a path to a place and you're in a maze, you have to decide how far you go down a path before you fucking say this ain't working, and then go back and try another path. And if you don't go far enough, you ain't never getting out. And if you go too far, you waste a lot of time. And you find these optimizations everywhere. So if you lift a little bit of weights, you're going to get a lot of results. If you do a little bit of martial arts, you're going to get a lot of results. But then if you do even more, you get diminishing returns.
Right.
So if you have a worldview and you're very strict with it, it lets you it works out really well if you had the right worldview. It lets you reject all the other stupid shit. Yeah. However, if you unfortunately had the wrong worldview, now you're just going to stay stupid or longer. So my ability to reject things that don't make sense prevents me from astrology, Zionism. Actually, that's the wrong word. Zoroastrianism. I don't know. I'm looking for some weird religion that people don't participate in, like fucking
Scientology. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, sure. Like, you know, here's the funny thing. Scientology actually has some really good shit that they teach, even though it was invented by a scammer. Yeah, so Scientology was invented by a science fiction author.
Religions. It's mostly just like, you know,
there's good shit in all of them.
It's corrupted at some point. Like, it's good. Like, most religions are really good, but then people are the ones that corrupt it, and then it turns to...
Well, it's like if a homeless guy yells at you to brush your teeth, should you? Yeah. It's still good advice, even though a homeless dude told it to you, right? But if a homeless guy tells you to all in iota, you should probably tell him to fuck himself. you know? So, like, So that story for me, it's just like it's probably useless to you guys, but to me, it's personally interesting because at some degree, we're all a little bit curious about ourselves. Like, why am I different from other people? And is that is that genetic, or is it because I had some good teacher? Is it luck? You know, like, why am I different from other people? I don't spend much time thinking about it, but when I'm like a severe outlier in like a specific way. Particularly some way that seems on the surface to be negative, right? Like, why did everyone else get this and I didn't get it? Because everywhere else in life, I'm wrecking motherfuckers. Like, I'm always right and they're always wrong. And so this one weird structured thing was like the only place I've seen where it's like, yeah, I ain't getting it. Because I get everything else. That's like the only time I can think of where I just didn't get it. So it was just like really interesting to me.
Are you an artistic person, or do you like, you're more like...
Depends on what you call art.
I know that there's no, like, I don't really believe in right brain, left brain, like complete thinking, but I guess that there is. Like, my friend is like, he's an artist, but he also says like it's what you really practice, because he says if he didn't practice that, then it wouldn't really, like, anybody could do this as long as they were practicing it. So I think that it's both. I think that it's something you are born with, but do you think that it's like that where you were just kind of more...
So there's different kinds of art, right? Like, if it's wordsmithing or like making jokes and being creative and shit, I'm very creative in that way. I can think of really funny scenarios, right? Like, I'm cracking myself up a lot of the time. Some funny shit that I'm thinking. But if it comes to drawing, I can't draw for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, stick figures look retarded.
Yeah.
My stick figures are deformed. Like, there's something wrong with them. Sorry, guys. You don't want to be in my stick figure world because you're fucked. Yeah. You know, playing instruments, keyboard, play it like God. But any other instrument, hard, real hard. You're like, piano, fuck, man. This ain't nothing like the keyboard. Nothing.
Right.
Very hard. Yeah, I mean, I could probably train to be good at those things. They just don't scale, right? Like, if you're doing stuff that's fun, that other people enjoy doing, you just entered the world of you ain't making no money. Because everyone else is willing to do that shit for near free. Oh, you want to be a photographer? Motherfuckers taking pictures all day long. Oh, you want a good picture? Guess what happens? If you want an actually good picture, you got to be there at the right time. It's not even about you. It's not even about your equipment. It's about a timing. How much time do you got to get that shot?
Yeah.
So
and how much time are you wasting just trying to get that?
Like, I'm a photographer, but I don't enjoy doing it because I know that like everyone on Flickr is gonna be beating my ass. So like, why am I gonna go produce something worse that's already on Flickr? You know?
And it seems like the best shots are also like ones that don't, like, they're just they just come, you know, like you know, some of the riot pictures after the riots where it's all burned down or whatever, and they see all that stuff. Like, you see all that stuff and you're like, wow, that's crazy. But how, you also have to get into there, you have to live by there, or you have to fly in. You got to waste a bunch of money to just get those pictures, and then it's a once in a lifetime thing. Nobody even knows who took the picture, so who cares really?
Yeah, and everyone's just gonna steal it. And you're not gonna get paid anyway.
Exactly. So exactly.
So there's you're not making any money at that shit. Right. So anything that people enjoy doing, you can forget about making money at it, dude. Like, that's why you're gonna get paid with exposure. Hey, we want you to make a song for us for free, but people will hear about you. Yeah, we want you to take some pictures for free, but people will hear about you. Yeah, any like, I like a car for free. I'll tell people about it. Yeah. Like, so just do the shit that other people don't want to or incapable of doing, and then you can be rich and respected and powerful and fucking get all the cool outlier stuff of the world. Tony Robbins has so much good shit. Like, here's another thing from Tony. If you're number 1 in the Olympics, you get a gold medal. You get all the sponsorships, all the love, all the awards, all the money. You've heard of Usain Bolt, right?
Yeah.
Fastest man in the world? Okay. Yep. Who's the second fastest man in the world?
I don't know.
No one knows or cares. Motherfucker don't make no money. Maybe he makes some money, right? But we have a disproportionate award to those that stand out. Yeah. So you're better off pushing deeper down a single path that allows you to stand out than you are by being a jack of all trades, and then you don't get the outsized rewards.
Right.
So this concept of, like, I was talking to you earlier about how you're waiting for that big ass green candle because all the gains from that year are going to come in 10 days, historically in Bitcoin at least. And looking at the HEX chart, there's some big ass green candles on there. It seems like, it's not just up. It's this, that, this, right? Like it.
Right.
So those power law distributions of whales and how we reward those socially that stand out, you got to take advantage of that. Don't do the shit that doesn't work.
Right.
If you're at a fucking riot out there burning shit and breaking shit, you are not making anything. You're destroying things. You are not getting smarter. You are not building something that works while you're sleeping. You are not learning. You are enjoying rage porn, and yes, it is fun, and yes, it doesn't make anything fucking better. It doesn't. No. So like if I'm happy to do things that have lasting value. So, I used to build keyboards. I stopped. I'm not getting lasting value out of that. I found the best one. I built it. It's fucking perfect. Okay, I'm done with that shit. I don't ever want to build another keyboard. Okay, I kind of want to, but I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do anything I'm good at, but I just don't do it.
Sometimes? Do you
I stopped.
No,
I used to do that, and it was a huge, giant time suck. Like, you're just like, oh, let's worship the tool. So instead of working on my book, I'm going to learn about keyboards. Instead of working on my book, I'm going to go to typing. I'm not even going to tell you where to go. I'm going to go type a lot to see if my words can get faster. Dumb. Stupid as fuck. Yeah. So stupid. The book could be finished, but I want to practice typing. Why? Because you want to avoid it. You want to do diversion. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And then having a deadline helps, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Having a deadline helps. Having a team that you're committed to helps. Having a coach helps. There's a lot of tips and tricks that you can use. Like I've got some YouTube videos there on how to kick gaming as a habit. I did it. Yeah. I kicked it. I tell you some of the tips and tricks I used to do it. I stopped drinking. I had one drink in 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, this is related to the best thing that ever happened. Bullshit.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice.
Yeah.
I wish we knew what it was.
Well, just think about the situation that would make a man who ain't drinking. Okay, I'll have a little drink. Just think about what kind of setup would have to exist for that shit to happen.
Oh God. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super happy for you, man.
Yeah. I'll find a way to fucking talk about it at some point.
Yeah, it's all right.
So I titled this video a bunch of positive shit, and I believe we're talking about a bunch of positive shit. We live in a world of wonderful opportunity. I'm giving you the best parts of the 100 grand of Tony Robbins shit that I spent money on. And you could get just as good stuff from a 300-year-old book called Balthasar Gracian's Art of Worldly Wisdom, which I've also like paraphrased the majority of and could publish as its own book as well, which I might, because I just turned his old language into like new modern language that makes sense. Yeah. It's great. It's a great book. Sci-Vive's getting work done on it. Hex has got a ton of shit going on. Loving it. Like, it's just so much opportunity, man. And we did this during the pandemic.
2020, right? It's like 2020. Everybody says it's like a horrible year, and it's like, for you it looks like really good, and for me it looks. I mean, there's been like a meta, I guess, maybe for everybody. Maybe it's a bad year, but I see it as like, this crypto community and like you and like I'm going up, and I see a lot of other people in the chat. When I'm talking, like everybody else is having a pretty good time. There's not a lot of, I think that there's a lot of forces that are trying to make us feel like we're bad, like we're doing bad, but there's actually we're actually doing.
They're dying off. Those guys are dying off, man. So here's what happens, right? Troll shows up. So here's what happens. Troll is like, okay, trolls are driven by significance. Remember I told you got this hierarchy of needs, the human needs.
Yeah.
So they have conflicts. Now, I believe I've got a better system in Sci-Vive, but Tony's is pretty good, so I'm going to tell it to you. His system's called the 6 Human Needs Psychology. The first 4 needs are the needs of the personality, the persona, and they have conflicts in them. So people want to feel certain, and they want to have variety. So we don't want the ceiling to be falling around us, like if that piece fell down there, and that piece fell down there, it'd be hard for me to talk to you because I'd be worried about this piece falling on me here. So we need certainty to operate. But we don't want to eat the same thing all the time. And we don't want to hear the same song all the time. So we need variety. And these two fight each other. So we need same and we need different. Okay, let's fight, right? Now, what if you want connection and significance? They fight each other. So if you come into a room and you say, I'm richer than all you, and I'm stronger than all you, and my dick's bigger than all y'all's, do you think people are going to connect with you and be like, high five, yeah, man, that's great. I'm glad you get such a bigger dick than me. No, they're going to hate your ass, and they're going to remove connection and have animosity towards you. But if you go into a room and you're like, man, yeah, man, I just got a flat tire, just got fired at work, man, this shit sucks. Maybe somebody offers you a drink. So if you remove your significance, they will connect with you to some degree. Now, if you go too far, you're a homeless person, they run away, right?
Right.
So for the most part, connection and significance, they fight each other. So a person that is significance-driven, which I am fucking significance-driven. Like, I got my own goddamn logo right here and all this bullshit, right? Look, I'm fucking covered in jewelry and shit, right? I am significance-driven. If I don't get the respect I'm deserved, I'm thinking of fucking you up, Right. That's how I'm programmed. That has upsides and downsides. The upside is it's brandable, gives you more reach, makes you speak with clarity. People know where they stand with you, So people will be, it's more polarizing. The people that are with me, they're with me hard. The people that are not with me, man, they talking shit. That's better, right? How do you think Trump got elected? How do you think that format, it has more power? A connection format is much harder, Right. So it's not like you can just instantly change these things. Like if you want to put these in order and you want to go from a significance guy into like a connection guy or a variety guy or a certainty guy, you're going to have to work on that shit. You're going to have to change your habits. You're going to have to change your language. You're going to have to change your beliefs. Right. It's effort, Yeah. So those are the 4 needs of the persona. And so we've got certainty and variety. They fight each other. We've got connection and significance. They fight each other. Now, these bottom 2, these are growth and contribution, and they don't fight with nothing. So they just work with everything. The more time you spend focusing on growth and contribution, everything's just better. I like that. Okay. Now, I will give you a caveat. The guy telling you that makes money on you wanting to learn to grow. So, you got to be a little careful, right? Watch your motives and your angles and all that shit. But seems reasonable. Could be, could be.
Yeah.
So like, if you look at these trolls want significance. They want to matter. And how do they get their mattering? By causing harm. Now, human beings, they cause harm to get significance all the time. And it works, right? Why do you think vandalism is a thing? Like, here's the thing, it's working. I'm going to fuck it up. And if you don't want me to fuck it up, you're going to have to respect me. And that's what they do. And it works. It does work. The squeaky wheel does get the grease. So the issue of people coming to hate on Hex as a troll is that I'm a smart motherfucker. And I know what you want, and you ain't going to get it. So trolls come. They try and talk that shit. If they don't have an audience, it's like they don't even exist. Right. Don't give them any energy at all. Don't give them positive energy. Don't give them negative energy. Don't give them views. And then guess what happens? They die and fall off. Because the only thing they want is to feel important by causing other people emotional harm. That's what a troll does. So I tactically play differently with people that have audiences, because the smart people in their audience will flip over to my side.
Right. Yeah.
So a guy like Peter McCormick, if he wants to shit post on my tweets, probably going to let him do it as long as he has an audience. And then if I've already like had a significant portion of them defect to me, then I can just reblock them. If like, so I have a different rule set for people with audiences. Like, if you have a big audience and you hate me, I'll talk to you publicly. But if you have no audience and you hate me, you don't exist. Right, yeah. So that's the proper game theory to deal with this type of bullshit. Yeah. And then here's the funny thing. Like, when are these guys going to realize they were wrong? Like, yeah, you guys are all wrong. You were all wrong.
Do you ever think that they will? I don't ever think that.
Well, I get them to do it. I'm like, listen, you need to have a falsifiable thesis. You need to know when you were wrong. So when will that be? When are you going to know that you were wrong? Write that shit down. Yeah. Because I'll be there to remind you. I probably actually at that point I won't even give a fuck to remind them. But if I talk to them again, I'll be like, yeah. You remember exit scam? You remember sub Satoshi? You remember going to lose your private keys? About all this other bullshit? Remember all that, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was all wrong. Everything's going great.
Yeah, it's pretty gross that they have no way of actually, there's no, they
just can never be wrong.
Forever.
Right.
You
They're
can
just
it's just like Peter Schiff with the Bitcoin. You can just say it forever. It's just like, okay, bro, like, we get it. Like,
you missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Learn, figure it out, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I see all these guys as, is just little Peter Schiffs, that they're always going to be saying it, and they're going to miss the opportunities.
Well, they know the game too. See, they're playing a similar game, right? They know I have a bigger audience than they do. Well, not Peter Schiff, but he's got a bigger audience than me. He's been at this longer. I've been at this shit like a couple years. He's been at this shit like 20 years. If I was at this for 20 years, I'd be doing way better than he is.
Right.
They are in it for the clicks and the drama shit too. Here's the difference.
Right, yeah.
These troll motherfuckers, they've never built anything that added value.
That's true.
For the most part. So me, in my head, I'm focused on the things that are going to scale. Is crushing yet another stupid troll going to scale and get us 10x the users? No. What are the things that can get us 10x the users? That's what I'm thinking about, So it's about that 10x, man. It's about that multiplication. Because if you get a 10x here, you get a 10x there, you get 2x there, you get 3x there, this shit's all multiplied by each other, man.
Right.
So if you can get your customers to spend $2 extra twice as often and do it for 3 extra products, this shit is like, it multiplies to a big ass number. You're like, whoa, I didn't think I could do that. And then you do that in an ecosystem where the price moves as a square of the input money, and you're like, fuck, like these things. This is why Hex was able to do 116x return, is because we've got all these compounding things in there. That's why cryptocurrencies can do this. You're like, what's it cost? What's it cost to onboard a new user? $0. Okay, what's the profit margin? Infinite.
Right. Yeah.
I guess like
much as
and then people want to buy it more, the higher the price is. Okay, well, like it's perfect. It's a fucking there's nothing that's ever pumped in the history of prices like cryptocurrencies have. Period.
Yeah.
And the difference is everyone thinks that what makes one crypto better than another is some bullshit narrative. And the only actual thing that makes one cryptocurrency better than another is people holding it and buying it and holding it and not selling it.
Yep.
The narratives are just replaceable. Bitcoin was peer-to-peer digital currency. Didn't work out. And it didn't matter. Price went from $1 to 20K, 20,000x.
Yep.
20,000x. It really went from a penny. It was really 2 million X. So Bitcoin did 2 million X with no adoption. You used to be able to go on Fiverr and pay in Bitcoin. Now you can't.
Really?
You used to be able to go on Steam and pay with Bitcoin. Now you can't. Well, what? Why not? Because no one uses the shit, man. They just don't use it. It's a waste of everybody's fucking time. So be it. And it always will be when it's 10% fee to get it in the ATM. And they fucking close your bank account if you get received. Like it's so. Yeah. So that's opportunity. Did a 2 million X on no adoption, and the narratives just changed. Like, all right, well, it's programmable money. Okay, well, who programmed it to do anything ever? No one. So it's not programmable money either.
All
right,
nor will it ever probably.
Right. So you're like,
I don't think will probably ever work.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, so why does the price keep going up? Because the market is smarter than the dumb narratives that you guys think matter.
Right.
The reason the price is going up is because people are buying it and holding it. And the fucking excuses why they're doing that are irrelevant. Some people thought it was digital gold. Some people thought it was peer-to-peer currency. Some people used it as a fucking utility token for margin trading platforms.
Which is what I see most people doing with their money.
Pretty
with
much.
Bitcoin, I mean.
Pretty
it's just
much.
Like it's a margin. It's just a trading utility.
Yep, that's right. And I am the one that figured out who gives a fuck. What matters is the buying and the holding. If you care about the price and you care about making money, what matters is the buying and holding. So let's reward the buying and holding.
Right.
And then not pretend that what matters is, oh, we're the world computer. No.
Right.
You're like, no, you're not. Oh, we're the distributed autonomous fuck. Nope. No, that ain't working either. We're decentralized finance. Maybe that one works, but we'll see, right? Yeah. Because really, even DeFi, it's just motherfuckers borrowing and ETH. That's like all it is.
Yeah.
I guess stablecoins too. Maybe the stablecoin play is like even stronger. So these narratives just get fucking replaced constantly. Yeah. And then all these other coins, they're just empty, right? Like, Tezos, empty. Cardano, empty. There's nothing going on there. It's empty.
No.
It's a fucking ghost chain that's worth $1 billion. Okay, should a ghost chain be worth $1 billion? No. But when you actually understand the game, the stupid fucking excuse that people are buying this thing is irrelevant. The only thing that truly matters is that they bought it and they're holding it and not selling it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that actually fucking matters to the price.
Yeah.
Because which
is a genius idea that they actually get something to like make people, like there's other staking coins that don't like they let you hold it, but then there's no penalty to
you can just dump on everybody's heads whenever you want.
So it's exactly. So you can just end it whenever you want and stake it. So the penalties is what really is the game changer. I think about HEX is like it's so and that's how it should be. It should be like, if you don't want to play the game correctly with what you said that you were going to do, if you don't want to uphold what your word, like,
and they were benefiting from other people's fuck ups while they weren't fucking up themselves.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's why we see a lot of people that are like, I don't know. There's a lot of military guys in HEX, which is really weird. And maybe that, maybe it has something to do with that. Like, holding your word to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but this, this is what happens in the normal CD world. You will get fucked up with penalties. That's how it works. They will hit your principal. That's how it works. Not everybody, but a lot of them. And they renew you at worse rates. They auto renew you at a worse rate unless you like hurry up and opt out. Like, hey, don't fuck me in the next round.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, there's all these dark patterns, man. Like, gotcha capitalism is all over finance. 100%. People get billed for shit they never signed up for. Canceling is impossible. You call, we're open for like an hour on holidays only. Good luck. Like they fuck you at every single angle because they just make more money.
Yeah.
Like customer service, dude, you're calling India, bro. Good luck. And you will like, he's reading from a book. He doesn't actually have any power to help you at all. If his little book doesn't have a response to what you need, you're never getting help from that guy. So it's like those gotcha capital systems only benefit the ultra mega corp. In HEX, you are the ultra mega corp. You are the Fed. Like, you are minting the money. You are getting rewarded when other people fuck up. It's a different system. In the bank, if other people aren't using a CD, you don't get paid more. In HEX, if other people aren't staking, you get paid more as a staker.
Right.
So it's a superior system with less overhead. There's not 80 guys sitting there dumping the fucking coin to pay for dev that never gets used, products that never get used,
warehouse that are supposed to be
flights all over the world. Like, why do you think like ZEC price keeps going down? Because the people keep dumping it because they've got overhead. And same with ETH. ETH has the most developers in all of crypto. Well, you like to eat food, right? So every time someone says they're going full-time crypto, you're like, well, how are you going to eat? Are you going to sell some coins? But if you worked a normal job, you could be buying coins still. So and I support you going full-time crypto. I think you should add a shit ton of value. There's a lot of people that go full-time crypto that aren't adding value,
Right, yeah.
So, like, people don't understand the actual game. I understand the actual game. I understand that speculation is where it's at. I understand speculative stickiness. I invented the goddamn term. And I understand what the real game is, which is why HEX is outperforming, is because it was designed to fucking do what people actually care about. What people actually care about is goddamn price goes up. They don't have to send any fucking selfies anywhere. They don't have to worry about other people exit scamming them. It's innovative. It does things nothing else has done. It's obviously works in the real world, right? CDs exist in the real world. Okay, we want a blockchain version of them. Okay, here you go. Did anyone else do it? No? Okay, well, there it is. Like stupid people that don't actually understand the market think that what they're doing is better because they don't understand the market. Like, oh, we're going to build high throughput. Okay, first, it's already solved with ZK rollups. So you're wasting your fucking time. We already have high throughput.
Yeah.
We already have high throughput. ZK rollups is already done. You can fucking implement them and you'll get, 10,000 or 2,000 TPS. Period. Done. It's already done. Okay? And it's already tested. It's already in production. It's finished. But you want to run a ghost chain that's based on that shit, right? Why is my jaw cracking? Every time I talk, it makes a fucking cracking sound. It's crazy. What the fuck is going on here? I sound like a Rice Krispie inside my head, dude. It's fucking weird. So weird. So what are the only things that the crypto projects do? Scale. Okay, that's solved. Anonymity. No one uses it, but it's also solved. Like Monero does it okay. With a larger anonymity set, Tornado Cash does it okay. Although the fucking fees right now are like a little silly because of the ETH price, or because the fee market has set the gas cost for transacting any higher than I would like currently. Identity, no one gives a fuck about that. Literally, no one cares about that shit. Yeah. We've had X501, IEC invented identity solutions for a very long time. No one cares. We've had OpenID, etc. So no one should care about that at all. Inventory, is anyone trying to censor your inventory transactions or logs? No. So you don't need censorship resistance? No. Okay, then you just use a normal database like Amazon does. Amazon works just fine without the blockchain. They'll sell you blockchain, but they don't use it themselves because they don't fucking need it, because it's just a slow, expensive database unless you need censorship resistance. So where's the actual innovation in crypto? The actual innovation is the only thing that matters, is getting people to buy it and fucking hold it. That's what matters. That's what makes the price go up. That's the only thing that's ever made the price go up in crypto, because none of this shit has adoption. Now, in theory, there is some edge case where adoption could be amazing if people buy and hold the fucking coin. If you get adoption and every buy is canceled out with a sell 10 minutes later, you're not going to get upwards price momentum. I mean, you'll only get the float, like the lag time between their buy and sell creates a float, and you'll get that. So like that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, Tether is a multi-billion-dollar project launched on Omni. Omni's worth nothing. Tether's worth lots.
Right.
Then they moved most of the Tether transactions off of Omni onto ETH. It's 2/3 of all the transactions on ETH now. Do you think that's helping ETH's price? No. For the same reason it didn't help Omni's fucking price. So unfortunately, using the actual ETH network doesn't actually have to make the price go up at all. Yeah. The only thing that makes price go up is people buying and holding. Huh?
What was Tether using before?
Well, Tether was built on Omni, and Omni used to be Mastercoin, or Colored Coins, or whatever the fuck. And then it just ran on top of Bitcoin. But since Bitcoin is slow and expensive, they just switched it all mostly to ERC20 on Ethereum. But they've also got versions of it on other blockchains as well, because why not? I mean, it's their version of Excel. They accidentally minted an extra billion, and they're just like, oops, just burned them. So people that are traders that are like, oh shit, minted new Tether, gonna go long. Right. Oops, they just fucking did a boo boo. They did a boo boo. They minted an extra billion and then they canceled them out. That's how decentralized that is. It's like, what? Jeez. You know?
Yeah. It is pretty weird that they can just print as much. It seems like they can print as much as they want.
They can. They literally can. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. They just print some more, and it's just out of some guy's like bank account, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Nobody even sees.
Pretty much
sees any of that.
Yeah. It's 100% counterparty risk.
Yeah.
Plus, his bank can fuck him. You get fucked. He can fuck you. You get fucked. Technology can fuck him, which fucks you. You get fucked. The government could fuck the bank. You get fucked. The number of people that can fuck you in that arrangement is a lot larger than the number of people could fuck you if you had an account at your bank. You've just increased the number of people who could fuck you by like 4x, 5x, something like that. So, not fabulous from that perspective, right? Like, so when I look at other crypto projects, I'm just like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Right? Oh, you got scale. No one cares. Identity. No one cares. You got anonymity. Like, I care, but most people don't care. You know, what do people care about? Buying and holding.
Right.
And if they're new enough, what the logo looks like, right? So like, people just don't understand what the crypto market's really about. They wish, they dream that it's about the technology. Like, dude, it's just an expensive, slow database. That's all it is.
Right.
Like, what is this? What is this fucking world-changing technology you think you're involved in? We already have high throughput everywhere else in the world. My cell phone will beat the Ethereum network.
Right. PayPal is quite nice if you just use it, if you dial the pace or something.
Yeah. So like,
I don't understand the coffee the thing where Bitcoin will pay for coffee.
Right.
It's like, what? Are you crazy? Like, I can
it's
pay
solved
for coffee
already
with PayPal in 2 seconds.
It's already solved. It's
45
already
minutes
solved.
for Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would love if everyone gets wallets installed, then those things will be solved better by crypto.
Right.
But how are you going to get all those wallets to get installed? And what would that cost? And then who's going to pay for that?
Right.
And, you know, it's fucking challenge, man. It's challenge. Because these payment processing networks are already extremely tight margined, but people don't realize that.
Right.
When you use Visa and MasterCard, they have to eat a shitload of fraud. The fraud that they eat that lets you do chargebacks and stuff, someone has to pay for that shit.
Yeah. So
the fact that you can, like, if you tried to make a crypto version of Visa, it would fail so fucking hard. Like, people would call, you wouldn't get any support. They'd be like, fuck you, learn it on your own. They're like, this guy didn't send you the product. You should have known better. Ha ha. Right? Like, anything that happens during crypto, people are like, ha ha, you should have known better. Oh, YouTube canceled your account. Ha ha, make your own YouTube.
Yeah.
Like that. Like this, so that's your option. Like, complaining about unfair business practices isn't a thing because you can make your own, right? Make your own planet. Make your own government. It's so fucking stupid.
this is why you should have been on this platform. It's like, oh, thanks.
Oh, where there's no users. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go where there's no users, because that's the growth strategy right there.
Right.
We'll only have decay. Great, fucking great idea, dude.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a champion.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand there's a difference between being a content creator and being a content consumer, right? If you're just leeching people's music and it happens to be on DLive and YouTube, it doesn't matter where you leech it from. Right. But if you're a content creator looking to get more audience, and there's 8 billion fucking more people on YouTube, you want those users because they're over there. They're not gonna be over there, so you have to go where they are. Like,
right.
It's not an option to just be like, don't use YouTube. You're like, no, you have to play the fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
If you want to grow.
It's kind of like, I almost feel like my my identity got like deleted almost off of YouTube. You know, it's like they take something a little bit from you. Like, they're like, no, and you can't, like, in their terms of service, you cannot start another channel. And it's like,
yeah, but you don't start it. Your wife starts it, and you just happen to be there. Do you think they give a fuck? No. Do you know how many goddamn Elon Musk scams I've fucking watched on YouTube?
Yeah, that's true.
They do not.
I think
a fuck.
I have a conspiracy that they're there just to get all the YouTuber or crypto guys off of the YouTube, just to delete, blanket wipe all of them. Just be like, nah. Look at these guys have scammed, and you see it on Reddit, you see it on, oh, I gave my money. It's like, are people really that dumb? Maybe.
Yes.
I guess there are.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Remember I told you I was looking at print ads, and man, I saw an ad for like some fake lottery where you like guess, they like ask you a question the answer to is obvious. And then if you answer that right, you like can win something, Right. It's like those fucking questions you see on the internet. Like, I have ad blockers, so I don't see any ads, but
right, yeah, mobile ad kind of things.
Sure, you see some shit that's like, which one of these is a banana? Like an apple, a fucking orange, and then you're like, the banana. Congratulations, you won.
Yeah. And there
motherfuckers are doing that constantly. They're like, man, that's right. I know a banana when I see one. Fucking.
You're right. There are people that click those. I shouldn't be too. Like, I always have too much faith in humanity, and then I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, there are some people that click on this stupid shit.
Because they're gonna present the scam to you at some point. They just get you into the funnel somewhere. So. Yeah, it's every one of these ads had free in it. And I'm like, yeah, well, we're going to have free in our ad too. So,
yeah. Well, shit, dude. Wow, that's all the questions I got for you, man.
I'll tell you another thing that I found interesting. The people that have actually looked into HEX are known in the crypto community as the worst scammers in crypto.
Yeah.
So, Suppo Man, ICOs, everyone wrecked.
Yeah.
Opened up a stake, bought an Ethereum worth of HEX, fucking used the product, read all the reviews, did a great review.
Right.
It came to some incorrect conclusions, had some things wrong, but like, hey, motherfucker, he's in the game, right?
Right.
Spent a couple of days learning about it and fucking used it.
Right, yeah.
Did Peter McCormick ever use HEX? No. Did he ever actually research it? No. Does he know what it's built, why it exists? No. He's an idiot, right? So the people that are known as scammers actually do research. Right. So because they shit talk HEX, I don't want to promote them too much, but I'm going to promote them this one time, okay? So Michael Suppleman reviewed it, used the product, bought some, okay? Ian Bellina, not sure if he's used it, but I know his team has researched it, They put they saw what the fuck was going on. Trayvon James, right? Craig Grant. These guys that are known as scammers are known as such because they had an audience, because the audience enjoyed what they were doing, which is why they have large audiences. Now, unfortunately, because all of those guys were fucking around with ICOs and such, and our ICOs got the living shit wrecked out of them, by consequence, they got the living shit wrecked out of them too. Right? It's so weird to me. It's so weird to me that I didn't know much about these guys, right? Mm-hmm. And then I thought, all scammers, right? But then if you actually watch the shit, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Right. Like this actual, some of this shit isn't, this is real analysis, right? Like you're using the shit, trying the shit, thinking, making your own thoughts on your own, right? You're not just parroting other people's shit. The best reviews I've seen of HEX are from people that are known as scammers. Right. It's fucking crazy to me. And all the people that are not known as scammers, right? They're actually ignorant, retarded fucking idiots. They've never used or learned or done shit. They just flap their fucking lips. Right. That it's just it's so weird to me.
Well known. It's weird. Yeah, it is weird.
And I don't. I feel weird saying this because I don't want people to think that like, oh well, scammers must be good reviewers or some shit. I don't think that's the case, and I think most scammers are fucking the worst. And it's just a question of, in a world in crypto where everyone and everything is called a scammer, and most things hugely suck. It's just so fucking weird that some subset of people called scammers actually, has brains and fucking like, does good reviews. Now look, I would be happier if they were like, yeah, all in HEX, it's fucking amazing, But they just these guys are caught up, all of them are caught up in a mindset where they think they understand the market better than I do. And they're wrong. They don't. They all got ultra wrecked and I didn't. I was right and they were all wrong. And I'm right now and they're wrong now. So they're looking at shit that doesn't actually matter, but they think it matters. So they think like, oh, scalability or fucking whatever their stupid narrative is that they're biting into. They think that's what matters.
Right. And I think that a lot of it is like, because I didn't know who Peter McCormick was back when you were talking. Mm-hmm. Until you brought him on your show, I didn't really. Yeah. And I think a lot of it is because of his sponsors. You know what I mean? Like he gets sponsored and now his channel blows up and it's like, yeah, if you have a couple of $1,000s to throw at a channel now to like, get people that, but back when you were talking, I didn't know who Peter McCormick was or it was like you, Roger Ver, and there was a couple of other people. No. And, like it wasn't, and now, these random people are now like, well, I knew Tone Bays obviously, but yeah, it's just like now they're calling you a scammer. It's like, dude, this guy's been around longer than you, than most people even knew about you.
Yeah. And like, so guy that just appeared and doesn't know shit about shit is saying bad things about me. You're like, exactly. Yeah. I retired in 2003 and wrote self-help books and gave them away for free while traveling the world is my background. What did you do? Right. Like, you're like, yeah. Like I know everything about crypto more than you. I know I type faster than you. Dick's probably bigger. Like my favorite one is I'll say it. So if you go to the bathroom and you roll in your toilet paper and you run out of toilet paper and you all got left is the roll, my dick don't fit in that. Okay? So if you're curious about what's up, that's what's up. All right. Now neither the shaft nor the head, nothing is fitting in that fucking thing. So, oh jeez, that's hilarious. So like, people are just stupid. They get wrecked and they have no self-awareness. I can list you the shit that I misunderstood. I thought Bitcoin and alts were enemies. They're not. They pump together. They make new all-time highs together. The most likely thing you could ever buy in the world with your Bitcoin is an altcoin, period. If altcoins suck, that means you got less exciting shit to do with your Bitcoin, which means less people will fucking buy it. So like these two things are greatly intertwined. If alts pump, Bitcoin's going to pump. If Bitcoin pumps, alts are going to pump. Historically, right? Versus the dollar. Now look, if you have a shit coin that just is going to zero, it's going to fucking zero, right?
Right.
I
could probably put like 3 of mine into a toilet paper roll. But
Lol.
I can put the whole thing in there, like all of it.
There's some guy out there like toilet paper. I'm with the paper towels, motherfucker. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh shit, the paper towel guy's here. Get the fuck out of here. So people, they're not self-aware, you know.
Right.
Like they lose all their money margin trading, and then they're like, yo, I just need to do something different. Like, no. So take for instance Tone Vase, this piece of shit. A guy kills himself from trading. What does he do? Should have bought my course.
Yeah.
Yo, or hey, don't trade. What do you think, huh? What do you think? How's that? Don't trade. You know? But that shit's like not on the radar because, you know.
Right, yeah. They're just,
it's like,
I don't even get it.
Fucking, you get the living shit wrecked out of you on ICOs with people selling you promises. Yeah. And you're like, hey, why don't you stop buying people's promises? Because they lie and or just fail because life is hard and or don't have product market fit because you guys, like Hex invented the blockchain time deposit. We know time deposits work in the real world. This is not a fucking question. We know that they work in the real world. People trying to do shit that they don't know if it's going to work or not, right? Like, oh, we're going to make, you know, some weird trading card shit. Who the fuck's getting rich on trading cards? Is like Tops and Fleer fucking like $1 billion, like, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. That doesn't sound like world-changing innovation to me.
It was like a dream I had when I was like 8 years old or 10 years old. Like, oh, I'm going to keep these, which I do have some football cards from way back when, but they're not worth shit still. Like, they're not worth anything. Like, the most I got, you know, like I got some really cool ones, but they're like, you know, the most I got is like $30 or something.
Right.
Like it's like,
yeah, and you've been storing it.
Mass produced.
You've been storing it like plastic shit that cost like $50 to buy the plastic fucking holders.
Yeah.
Your subscription to the Price magazine has like exceeded your gains. Yeah. People don't understand the fucking crypto market. Bitcoin went up from 3K to 14K on a Ponzi scheme in China. That's the reality. That's the reality. The reality is Bitcoin pumped because of a Ponzi scheme. And then it dumped because a Ponzi scheme dumped. Yeah. Ethereum pumped because of ICOs. And what were ICOs? Mostly fraud. Mostly blatant, wild fraud.
Right.
So,
I mean, it was easy. I mean, there are already people trying to copy Hex by just generating a, you know, a random, like a.
They're not copying Hex though. They're like, they're saying like, hey, I want to make a scam. Okay, so what do? I generate a coin, and then I tell people to buy the coin. Okay. So what am I going to tell them? It's like Hex 4. It's Hex 4. Like, no, there's nothing fucking, there's nothing related. Nothing. It's a fucking token that you're just telling people to buy to give you money. There's no dev. There's no product. There's no features. Yeah. There's just fucking you wanting money and making a coin and being like, give me money.
And they see where, like, that's what I think it's pretty, like, it's a bullish kind of, you know, like when you see people trying to copy you, or at least the name.
I think I think that it is bullish from the perspective of if it were popular to make fake coins called like XRP 6 through 12.
Yeah.
Well, would it hurt XRP? I don't really think so. Like, I don't think anyone's falling for like, oh, yo, like XRP 6 is actually the real XRP. I don't really think that's happening. I think that people that might not have heard of it would be like, oh, what's this? Right? Now, if people were actually believing that shit, then that would suck, right? Like if people are buying fake Hex instead of real Hex, then that's a problem. If people are buying fake Hex because they wanted fake Hex, and people that hadn't heard of Hex are now like being exposed to it, okay, then that's upside, right? It depends on who's getting scammed. If people outside the Hex community are getting scammed, and then some portion of those are discovering real Hex, well, then to Hex, that's net positive.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Depending on how many of you would have gotten anyway. But if Hexicans themselves are getting scammed, that's fucking horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
So we don't
hopefully
get
most
scammed.
guys realize that, because it does seem like, we got like good texture who usually is really good at looking the code and stuff like that, who can be like, dude, this
They're
was
all
not a
scams.
good, yeah.
Like,
There hasn't been really anything. They're all.
I know exactly how hard it is to build this. I know
Right,
exactly how
Exactly.
hard it is to build.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and it's not open source. So if you
Yeah.
want to build something similar, good luck. I wish you luck. And may I mention, the history of similar things doing well is not good.
Right, yeah.
So how much is ETH
It's
Classic
like-
worth versus ETH?
Yeah.
How much is BCH versus VTC?
Right.
HEX is the first of its kind, the best of its kind. Imposters are not going to be catching up
Nah.
if they ever get to market.
Does the number 33 mean anything to you?
I love it. It's like my favorite number.
Oh, really?
Sounds good. Rolls off the tongue.
It's an Illuminati number.
I don't think so. This is my favorite number.
Oh, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that you.
369 is kind of Illuminati a little bit.
yeah.
It's like Tesla's.
And then I just got one more question for you, really quick. What Protoss, Zerg, or Terran? What do you do? What are your?
Depends on the map, right? So if you've got a
okay.
wide open map, Zerg, because you need surface area. If you've got a lot of choke points, Protoss Deathball, easy.
Yeah.
If you're good with drops, and you can multitask, then Terran could be nice. The thing is, like, if you're Terran, you need the map to support somewhere for your medevac to fuck off to when it starts getting hit, right? So you need somewhere to, like, have it chill. But if it doesn't have anywhere to chill, then drops is kind of out. And then you're worried about time frame too. So, like, I guess everyone's got a good timing attack. I don't know. I guess
it's crazy how it's like exactly to the second. Like, I tried it I was probably like the silver, I think, because there's bronze, silver, gold, and then whatever the Grand Masters and stuff like that. Diamond. So I got into like silver because I was playing quite a lot. Not as much as yourself, like you said. You were pretty high up there, but yeah.
I've got a predator icon, which is 4,000 wins. It's 1,000 wins each race, and then 1,000 wins on random. So
yeah, okay.
That's team games for the predator icon.
Oh, you're a team guy.
If you did that 1v1s, you'd get a different icon called the Dark Voice.
Okay.
So this is the difference between tactics and strategy. Strategy is playing the right game. Right. Tactics is playing whatever game happens to be there, usually the wrong one, very well. HEX is a better game. HEX is strategically the correct game to play. So you should play HEX very well. StarCraft 2 and other... StarCraft 2, man, it gets boring, dude. It's like...
Yeah. Well, when you're doing the exact, by the second kind of like exact building thing every time, because I would only play Terran, like no matter what. Right. I would only, they had the Marines, and I was like, hey, I'm a Marine. That's me, bro. That's all I played.
Space Marines, technically.
What's that?
They're Space Marines, I believe.
Yeah. Space Marines. But yeah.
So they say cool shit when you stem them. Getting stemmed Marines is great. You could wreck shit. Their DPS is so high. Like, if you're playing team and you like need to clear out a bunch of other extra infrastructure to end game, stem Terrans 3/3, at least 3 on offense, they fucking own, right? But if you have stalkers, you're there forever. Like, fuck, man. They're just not high DPS.
I haven't played in a while, but man, every time I always think about you. And then you said that you got like 4,000 wins. And I was like, yeah, damn, that's pretty good. I did not have a winning win-loss. My ratio was not very good. So,
I mean, if you're playing Terran, you can like, I haven't played in years. I guess 2 racks was real common. Or like medevac tank was like tricky build. If you have someplace you can abuse their like mineral line. It's funny how many topics that we could have deep conversations on. Like, I could speak at depth on so many different random fucking things. Like, It's silly. I wish I could trade that for human resources.
Yeah,
or just like deeper something, right? Because like, what is all my sick StarCraft 2 knowledge doing for me now? Or keyboard knowledge, or computer knowledge, or just, I would love to be more ignorant in those areas for something that has lasting value.
Yeah.
Because like, who's playing StarCraft 1 now? Nobody.
Right.
Not very common. Some people still do. But
StarCraft 3 comes out, and StarCraft 2 will be obsolete.
I don't know if they're going to make a StarCraft 3.
Oh, okay.
I think everyone's noticed that the money is not in real-time shooters or real-time strategy, sorry, RTS. So Blizzard is focused on their like replacement for Counter-Strike and MOBAs, because there's just more money in them. And the other interesting thing is like MOBAs actually have a lot more permutations of shit that can go on. So you're playing 5v5.
Yeah. With a 100 character set on, like, I play Dota sometimes.
Yeah. So the permutations of how these teams mix is wildly larger than 3 races with like 8 units that you can choose from. You know, like 3 races with 8 units is really just like 24 different units, right? Maybe there's more than 8. Let's call it 12 or some shit. So you've got like 36 different units in StarCraft 2. But in these MOBAs, you've got 100 units. But at one time, you'll only have like 10 on the field. And that's the other thing. Like, I don't know. They're both cool. Like, I like building stuff. So RTS is neat because you get to build a thing. But like tower defense is neat from that perspective as well. But in MOBAs that are played properly at higher levels, the team fights are where it's at, you know. But if you're at lower levels, you'll have people that won't group, and then you're just like, oh well, I guess we fucking lose every team fight now because this guy won't group, and he just fail splits and loses to the other top laner all the time. You're like,
they're actually really interesting watching those high end guys play MOBAs. They're actually really like when you get a good announcer too, who's like an actual good announcer. It's like, damn, this guy. Like it seems like watching like a football game, but you're watching somebody play a video game. It's like, oh damn.
If like some of those characters they play are so high skill cap that you may never be able to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like I'll watch Lol Tyler 1 stream sometimes, and he's not like top tier. He's just so funny. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather watch him stream than like Boxer, or not Boxer. He's a StarCraft 2 guy. Faker's the best StarCraft 2 player who plays for SK Telecom. Watching him is boring as fuck. His screen name is like Hide and Bush. And it's funny, the guys that are better, they just lose so often because they're playing against other guys that are sick as fuck. You're just like, I'd rather watch a guy like Noob from Wood League up to Masters, because he just gets to fucking pwn everyone the whole time. Like, watching someone lose sucks. Just like, yes. Oh, like he's getting destroyed again. Like, oh, like he's getting 4-man to his tower. Even Tyler's getting boring now, though. Like, I don't know. I haven't watched him in a bit.
You gotta mix it up.
So, does chat have any fucking questions?
No, I haven't looked at chat for a while.
Hey, chat. Hey, chat, you sleepy fuckers.
Let's see. They're talking about StarCraft.
Yeah, somebody in chat says they played professional Counter-Strike for 10 years. So, like, bro, first off, like, I just, the permutations in Counter-Strike are so few. They're like, Rush B, Zuckerblatt. I just fucking, I can't. I don't give a fuck about Counter-Strike at all. I think Team Fortress 2 shits on Counter-Strike. It's so much more fun. There's so much more mechanics. Huh?
There's one. What's your favorite StarCraft unit? Walter asks.
I mean, fucking. I mean, Blink Stalkers suck, but they are fun to use. Blink stalkers are so much fun to take the front ones and blink them back so that they can regen their shields while the next guys are going in. So I like using blink stalkers.
Micro though, the micro, what's it called? Micro.
Yeah.
Micromanaging your units.
Yeah,
so
you have
crazy.
to. Yeah, because every time like a fucking Marauder shoots one of his shitty rapes stalkers missiles at you, just blink it back and it cancels out his stupid missile. I think I don't know why I can't remember what they're called right now. I remembered it earlier. The tall fuckers that walk over the other guys that are protest units as well. They can be shot by air units. They go.
Which one?
I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Is it a Terran unit?
Nah, it's a Protoss unit. So like, there's three area of effect units on Protoss, right? You've got High Templars, which cast Psystorm. You've got we used to have Reavers, but now you've got the Disruptors, and then the third one, the one that stands really tall and shoots like this. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. I don't know why.
Good Texture asked, what does Richard think about the hexagonal shape storm on Saturn?
I like it. I think Saturn is actually going to all in hack.
Saturn is?
Yeah, dude. Like, it's going to be a planetary currency, obviously. So, yeah. Like, Saturn is basically just begging for Hex to come and take over its commerce. I don't know how much buying and selling is going on in Saturn right now, but since they don't have an atmosphere that's breathable by humans, probably not enough. It does look cool as shit, though, man. That hexagon storm looks so fucking cool. Because, like, you wouldn't even... If you told me there was, like, a hexagon storm on a planet, I'd be like, nah, it's got to be, like, man-made or some shit. There's no, like, nature hexagons, you know? Like, storms. It's really neat. Oh, the Colossus. Thanks, chat.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I mean, Colossus is a cool mechanic because it, like, walks over other units and can walk up and down levels, you know, which is neat. I mean, they're not...
Oh, yeah, those things suck against Marines, too, because they just wipe them out. They're just like... And it just wipes your whole thing out. Like,
but when you play people that are good, that are Terran, they spread those fucking Marines so wide that your area of effect shit is, you know...
Yeah. Because you have to get the planes to come in. For me, that's how I would get the planes.
You hit them with the... Yeah. I remember this one loss that I had that was like the most brutal loss I ever had. I'm sitting with every unit, man. I got my Colossi, I got my Psystorm dudes, I got, you know, I'm ready to feed back their fucking ghosts. Like, I'm like all set. This motherfucker attacks me in the perfect way. He tears me apart. His fucking air units come, wreck my Colossi. So I like try and swap their sides, right? I'm like, Colossus, fuck off, come this way. I guess I didn't have enough observers out. And then I'm like, all right, just go Psystorm those fucking planes. And then he EMPs my Psystorm guys from the other side. So fucking, he's like perfectly raped both of my units in the perfect way. And I'm just like, wow, I totally just got wrecked from my 200 unit death ball to fucking nothing. Like, I've never lost this hard. It was the perfect destruction. Like, you feel like, yeah, this guy's not my level. This guy's on another planet. You know, so you look at his match history here, like, he must have just started being amazing because his match history doesn't show him fucking being amazing. But, like, I just totally destroyed. Totally. Like, no fucking, like, yep. Totally perfectly countered everything I did wonderfully.
Let's see. So somebody asks, is there anything about Hex that people don't realize? Any Hex Easter eggs that you want to tell us about?
Oh, there's tons of Hex Easter eggs, man. Tons.
Oh, really? There we
go.
Yeah,
you can start a stake and end it before it really starts. No penalty. You know, you can good accounting, and good accounting may have tax benefits for you because you're not minting the coins. You're not minting the rewards. You're like...
Right.
You're also not being penalized.
Right.
But it also reduces the inflation. So inflation is paid on coins that are minted. If someone runs good accounting and those coins don't mint, inflation isn't paid on them. So you can reduce the inflation rate by using good accounting. You can empty the flush account So like the balance of the contract, you can empty into the flush account. So you can do that on Etherscan or another website called anotherhex.win. It's called like the release valve or something. That's neat. So like sometimes it'll be like, if like 20,000 ETH in there or something, just be like bloop, and you'll have moved 20,000 ETH. Like it's pretty fucking cool.
Like 20 cents. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
somebody asked yesterday too, like, what happens after a stake end? Like, so let's say that a huge stake, because we saw like 1 billion hex that were sitting in the that were starting to get penalized. What happens if if somebody uses, because their shares are still in the pool, right? So like, would they be collecting the emergency end stake penalties and all those other penalties if their shares are continuing to be in the pool?
No. Nope.
They're not. Okay. No. So they're not actually diluting. They're just diluting your share of what you would get because they're diluting the share pool, but they're not actually.
Right. So if you have expired shares, to be paid slightly less.
Richard.
Very slightly less. What? What's up?
Oh, there you go.
Did I drop?
It dropped out. Oh,
okay. I started leaning back and like I fucking disappeared. Am I out of the camera? Is that possible? Am I that long? If you have expired shares, they will slightly dilute other people.
Right.
I mean, if you were all of the shares, then I guess it would largely dilute them. But most people's shares are a very small portion of total shares. So an individual that has expired shares is going to slightly dilute other people's payouts. However, they will receive no benefit from that. And as a matter of fact, they will receive penalties from that. Yeah. Because when you run end stake, it only looks at the days that were valid for you. It doesn't look at days past your valid period. Okay. It doesn't care about those days.
Okay. That was what one person was asking yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it was James.
I think letting people bleed out benefits the staker class more than not letting them bleed out. Very simply, because if you don't let them bleed out, then no one in the staker class gets that party's money.
Right.
If you do let them bleed out, some people in the staker class are going to benefit from that person bleeding out.
Yeah.
So it increases the total amount of HEX that stakers will mint when they end their stakes when some other guy gets nuked,
Right.
So on average, it pays the staker class more. Some, like, if you're talking about like the being diluted thing, it's like, yeah, you're getting paid less, but that guy's not getting paid that amount that you're getting paid less. You're just creating, the whole system will have less inflation in it.
Right.
So yeah, you guys aren't getting paid more because this guy is taking it, but he's not actually taking it. He can't mint it.
Right.
You're just reducing the inflation of the entire system. And in actuality, the amount that he is, he can't mint that.
Yeah.
And then
penalties are getting distributed as well.
Sure, but even his penalty only applies to what he did get paid. It doesn't apply to that virtual forward amount that's not getting paid.
Okay.
So if you run the math, but in my opinion, it seems like for the stakers that aren't being nuked, other stakers being nuked adds to their HEX revenue. And then if that dilution that you're getting, it doesn't actually exist because that guy isn't getting it paid either, right?
Right.
So.
All right. Let's see. Does Richard like number 13 almost as much as 33?
Nah, 13's garbage. I mean, I'm from Miami, and I think we had a football player with number 13. It's kind of like whatever. I don't know.
What is this? Advice to the community about marketing HEX.
Well, I mean, do you know anyone that would have liked to have made 116x on their money in 4 months? If that's the case, then I mean, holy shit. Now, is past performance an indicator of future performance? the legalese is no, it's not. But I mean, the legalese is that it's like no guarantee of future performance. But I think it is reasonable to state that past performance can have some type of informational utility for future, right? Like that's what all models are. The concept of modeling is that's the past. Hey, let's make a model and try and guess the future. So if modeling is a valid thing in the world, then the past does matter. And I think 116x in 4 months is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, keep it simple, right? Like, do you really need to understand everything about HEX to get that it works?
Right.
Like I can go very, very deep on HEX, but does that actually do a service to the guy? I'm not burning my shit here. I guess it's just anodized aluminum, so I can't actually fuck it up. Is it useful for me to overload a new user with data that they can't process and confuse them to the point where they never onboard? Is it useful for me to, like, here's one for you. When Bitcoiners can no longer free claim HEX, is there a reason to mention Bitcoin on HEX's website anywhere at all?
Probably not.
It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, right now, because we are giving lots and lots and lots of money, no, we are giving, but Bitcoin people that had Bitcoin on December 1st, 2019, 7 p.m. EST, can mint their own free HEX. And they're minting a shitload of it that's worth a lot of money. And so those guys have done very well for free off of some shit that I worked very hard to invent. So I have done them a solid, and they're the only people getting free coins. So very nice of me to have done that. If that wasn't the case, if people weren't minting that free HEX and onboarding and participating in shit, I don't see a reason to dilute HEX's brand power and HEX's mind space with other coins.
Right.
Even Ethereum. If the adoption amplifier doesn't exist any longer, and there's pairs at different places, different exchanges, maybe Hextex, maybe other places, like why, if you can pay fees in HEX, why even mention Ethereum to anybody?
Right. Yeah.
So the structure of effective marketing for HEX during the next 150 days, 153 days. I think the last AA day may be like 152 days from now. So, that's 5 months.
Yeah.
So in 5 months, probably don't need to be talking that much about ETH. Probably don't need to be talking about much about Bitcoin. Because of what utility are they to HEX, right? They're just like ETH is something that currently people that use HEX pay fees in. And currently people that want to use the adoption amplifier must use ETH to do so.
Right, yeah.
But once that mechanic goes away, I'd be happy if people could pay fees in HEX and never see the word ETH ever anywhere. Because why dilute the brand? Why confuse them? Why, make things simple for these people if you can. Cryptocurrency is complicated enough. It is complicated enough. And HEX is complicated enough.
But it doesn't have to be either. I think that if you can dumb it down, like not, I guess dumb it down to a point where it's just like.
Oh, I minimized your screen and then you weren't moving for everybody in chat on my side anymore. Sorry about that, guys. Hex Doctor moves again. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Mice Elf, for.
Like I've onboarded new people into crypto that have never been into crypto before, and they actually like HEX because of the simplicity. There is a simplicity to it where it's just like, get your coins, stake your coins. It's there.
True.
There you go. You're gonna make. You can stake it for 1 day. You can stake it for 15 years.
Yep.
Try it for. I always try to tell people stake it for 1 day first if they have. And to show them, look, you just got 10 hex just for staking it for one day.
Yep.
So now do that, and you can do that for 15 years or 10 years. Or staking ladder is usually what I tell people to try to, like, what is a good, if you don't want to be looking at your $2,000 for the next 15 years, try to look at a staking ladder.
Right. So I think in 150 days, roughly, call 5 months. In 5 months, AA goes away.
Yep.
Referral program as it exists today goes away. There is a chance a different referral program could exist.
Yeah, that'll be a sad day for the old HEXologist.
Well, listen, it's this simple.
The Shield King.
Right now, referrals pay on AA and on free claims.
Right.
A situation could exist where AA paid on staking. But someone has to build that shit.
Right.
So it is possible to build a referral program built around the staking. The difference is that when someone made a stake, the person that referred them would get some coins.
Get a portion of that.
Yeah. And I haven't put too much thought into it, but I know it is possible to do. My gut feeling is I think it would be cool to see something like that.
Yeah.
Because I believe in referral programs.
Right. Yeah. Because like there is I've heard I think, I don't know if it was you or somebody or Kyle, but said like a referral program for the Uniswap.
Yeah, but that's okay too. But
it's like trading. Like I don't really promote trading. Like I don't really, I'm not like, I'm not a Tone Vase. I'm more of like, dude, I'm not telling you to trade, and I don't want to. But I mean, if there is something, maybe. But
so if you've noticed, like HEX's marketing and narrative has improved over time, like greatly.
Yeah.
So originally it was Bitcoin HEX. That sucks. HEX is better. Originally it was a shitty orange logo. That sucks. New logo is better. Originally the slogan was, steal Satoshi's coins or some shit. That sucks.
Yeah.
Now it's world's first blockchain city.
Yeah.
Like, you're still getting Satoshi's coins, by the way.
Right.
But we just don't talk about it. Right?
Yeah.
Because the narrative improved. The marketing can continue to be refined as time goes on, and we attack new markets, basically. Like, so originally, like, think of it this way. Originally, like 80% of coins were staked. And the narrative was like, hey, look at this shit. Nobody can dump. Fabulous. Right? But then, now like 20% of coins are staked. So now what's the narrative? Well, people that are staking get paid a shitload more, and the market cap's higher.
Yeah.
So it's like, this shit, it evolves, right? The way that you perceive the system evolves. There's shit that I learned that I had no idea about. I never thought that, like, oh yeah, maybe you should emergency end stake and then stake for longer, and then you'll get more shares, and then you'll get a bigger pig payday.
Right.
And you would want to do that earlier before the share price keeps ratcheting up.
Right.
I never even thought about that because it's not where I'm focusing my time, right? Like, I'm not focused on that.
Right.
I mean, I could, if I were trying to trade HEX, man, there's so much tools that you have available to you that don't exist in any other market. When people are emergency end staking, you can try and front run their orders, right?
Right.
You can tell whether someone's just a trader because they have no stakes, or whether they're like a real believer because they have stakes. I mean, shit, I would probably, like, if I were a trader, I'd probably build an app that showed me everybody that was cash positive and anyone that was cash negative, who sold the bottom, who bought the top. Why not? I mean, you could do that here. You can't do that unless you own the exchange elsewhere.
It's trades, right? Is that?
Yeah, I'm talking about the trades, But, like, I'm not focused on that, right? Like, I'm not focused on trying to figure out HEX trading. I'm not focused on trying to figure out HEX staking. I'm very happy that the people are, right? Like, where I'm spending my time is the shit that can 10x.
Right.
So it's because if you get a larger piece of a smaller pie, you rapidly run out of profit. So let's say you own 10% of a pie. Great. You can own all the pie. You made a 10x. Okay, now you're fucked. You own all the pie. That's it. You don't have anywhere to go. But if you can increase the size of the pie by 100x, 1000x, 10,000x, you can easily do that.
Right, yeah.
I mean, maybe easy is not the word, but your maximum mathematical profit from getting more of a thing is 100%. Caps out very quickly.
It's like making a good product or from like one of these ICOs that are just vaporware. It's like you made a good product because you understand that. Like if you make something really good, there's a bigger piece of a pie, and yeah, you would get, if you have 10% of that pie and it's a huge pie, then it's like, dang, that's a huge pie that I just got. But if you're trying, like what you just said, where you're 10%, it's a little tiny pie, and you just try to exit scam. Wow, you just you made whatever, however much, a couple $1 million. You can't live off that for the rest of your life. It's not really anything. But if you make something like you did, where it could be billions or even $1 trillion product,
yeah,
I mean,
look at the magic that shittier things have done and are doing, price wise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I mean, can you trade Bitcoin on on-chain exchange? Not really. Can you time lock your Bitcoin for profit? No. Can you do 13-second blocks on Bitcoin? No. Can you what the fuck? Like what are the only things Bitcoin does better than HEX? Liquidity. That's it. Right? Now, how many of you in the chat have to sell 100 million and need that 100 million liquidity? None of you. Okay. So that shit doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I like people talk about volume. Fuck volume. What are you talking about? What are you going to do with volume? Volume goes up, volume goes down. You get paid? No, you don't. Exchange gets paid. Exchange makes money on volume. You don't. So why do you care? Because you think it helps you tell which direction the chart's going to go? You're literally picking the only thing that's on everyone's chart. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think you care about volume, but maybe you probably shouldn't. You should care about price, because that'll fill your orders. Price will liquidate you, and price will fill your orders and make you rich. Volume will not. Volume makes exchanges rich. Maybe makes market makers rich. Does not make the trader rich. Yeah. So Bitcoin has liquidity. Bitcoin has ATMs. And retailer acceptance. You could build Lightning on it, but you could build ZK rollups on ETH and use HEX. So like, and there's already more liquidity for Bitcoin on Ethereum than there is on Lightning. So there's already more layer 2 Bitcoin in Ethereum than there is in Bitcoin. So it's like,
so they're just really throwing money at nothing.
There's no comparison. Like there's like 100 devs working on the Ethereum scaling shit, and there's like 10, 20, 30 guys working on fucking the Bitcoin scaling shit.
They love talking about that Lightning. I will tell you that. Like, they just love. Hey,
look, I hope,
guys.
It's not right now.
That was in 2018 that they were talking about it.
Yeah, right. Like, I hope it works out, but you guys, you're getting the shit kicked out of you.
Broke up again, Richard.
Well.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry. Yeah, like it. I wish technology got better, but if your technology isn't getting better, like, fuck you. I'm not gonna like pretend it's getting better, right? Yeah. When Lightning is useful and awesome, I'm gonna tell everyone about it. When Bitcoin gets anonymity, I'm gonna tell everyone about it. When Bitcoin rolls in some new cool feature, I'm gonna tell everyone about it. Right now, I just don't have anything good to talk about. Like, what good thing is going on? They released like Taproot and Schnorr announcements like fucking forever ago. Okay, now what? Like, there's just nothing to talk about except the price, right? So in my opinion, HEX fucking dominates Bitcoin, dominates it. And the price chart agrees. So like, it's better logo, it's better brand, it's got more features, it has more opportunity because it can go up 1,000x Bitcoin is going to have a very hard time to go up 1,000x because you're talking about something that would become worth trillions upon trillions of dollars, right? So let's go to Wolfram Alpha. Ready? Somebody said, nice job calling out fake Satoshi. So apparently calling out fake Satoshi. I know I froze HEXologist again. I'm bringing him back, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I called out fake Satoshi in person in Malta, and apparently just went viral again like a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah, on Reddit?
Yeah.
I saw people. I saw that.
Which is just hilarious because, like, hey, good job calling out that scammer. But, by the way, you were also a scammer.
Yeah.
You're like,
but you're two scammers going at it. That was some of the comments in there.
You're like, okay, who am I pretending to be? What?
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, I'm here protecting truth, and like I'm being insulted. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, it
is. It's insane, actually. Like, it's
I have a self-help YouTube channel for free. That's what I did first, right? Like, I have people messaging me all the time that I've changed their lives for the better, particularly with getting to quit poker and video games, is what I get a lot of messages about. Is anyone else in crypto helping people quit wasting their lives playing poker and video games? Like, no, me. This is me. Like, everyone else trying to get you wrecked. Like, so it's like fucking, I'm literally like trying to make a positive difference in the world, and people are accusing me of like all the evil. And you're like, all right, well, who did I fuck? What's their name? Who? Where? What are you talking about? When people are actually victimizing, there's a shitload of victims that are happy to talk to you about it. Thousands of them. They make forums. Like, there's no victims. It's so stupid. All right. So we were doing 1,000 times $168 billion. Oops. Forgot to write times.
Like what, 16 trillion? Or no, 1,000. Jeez. That's what it's like.
It's 168 trillion. Okay. So if you want 1,000x of Bitcoin, then the value only has to go up to 168 trillion. It seems like a lot to me. I mean, call me crazy, but 168 trillion is a lot of fucking money. I mean, I can't think of an actual other.
Out again.
God damn it.
There you go.
God damn it. I can't think of any other thing in the world that is worth $168 trillion. So let me look up real quick the GDP of the United States.
Yeah.
20 trillion. Okay.
It's
20 trillion.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's look up. I think Apple's the most valuable company in the world. 260 billion. Oh, hold on.
Is it only 260 billion?
Apparently went up to 1.3 trillion.
Oh, wow.
In the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah, because it was a trillion. It wasn't one of the first.
I don't know. It like auto completed, and I just read the autocomplete, but obviously the autocomplete was stupid. So right now, Apple's market cap is 1.5 trillion. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
So in order for Bitcoin to go up 1,000x, it only needs to go up 100 times Apple's market cap. And 8 years of American GDP.
Right. Yeah. 8 years. And it's in China. It's based in China now. So,
like, I hope Bitcoin goes high as fuck, but these people that are talking about, like, hey, man, we can't even hold 10K, but, yo, that 300K looks real nice. Yeah. Stop being so fucking stupid. You just had a 65% drop in 2 weeks. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking drop. That's a huge unbearable drop, like.
Yeah.
So. Oh, by the way, while Bitcoin went down 65% in 2 weeks, HEX went up a lot during that time.
Yeah. It
Same
was
time.
the greatest time of my life, man. Riding that wave up. It was like.
Well, everything else was getting wrecked. HEX was doing real good.
No, it was really nice.
But it's been a good chat. How long did we talk for?
About 4 hours.
Nice, dude. It's not
good,
bad.
Man.
It's not bad.
We killed it.
Next time we'll even answer audience questions.
Well, thanks, man.
It's
Thank you
been
for
fun, man.
coming on the show. Yeah, it's been great.
Everybody subscribe to HEXologist. Go to his referral link. It's hex.doctor. It gets 10% bonus on the AA, which allows you to mint your own hex by transforming Ethereum into it, and on free claiming, where you can use a signature from your Bitcoin wallet from December 1st, 2019, 7 p.m. EST. You can use the signature from coins that you had in your wallet back then to mint your own free hex now. And over $2 billion of Bitcoin holders have done that. So it's funny whenever you hear people like, oh, no one cares about hex. Oh, except for the $2 billion of Bitcoiners who fucking minted
Almost
it.
3.
Except those
Almost
guys.
3.
You know, they seem to care. And we're also like, we're 1% of all Ethereum transactions. So it's like, you know, what else do you want us to do? And by the way, we're designed to not have transactions. We're designed to lock and stay locked for years. So the fact that we're even 1% is a shitload, right? Like that's a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah. The metrics on Hex really look fucking good. So
yeah,
people should respect.
Yeah. I hope they start putting some respect on our name.
You know what, man? If the 116X didn't get them, maybe the 1016X will get them. Who knows? I don't know what it takes to get these guys, but at some point they're gonna get it. They're gonna fucking understand. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I think that they probably already got in. They just don't, you know.
I'm still thinking of just wearing the shirt, you know.
Yeah.
Your coin is down here, this flat line. Hex is up here, and then have someone come behind me with a paper. You know, fucking have a little. Actually, you can automate that. Have a little flap, like, or for you people at home, it'd be going this way, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I think I did the chart right, actually, for you guys at home. It goes that way.
Yeah, it does.
All right, man. It was good talking to you, bro.
Yeah, too.
Oh, Shill. What else you got?
Oh.
Tell them all your social channels.
Just my D Live. If you guys are already here on D Live, if you're on my Twitch, go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv / the HEXologist, and dlive.tv / HEXologist. So go subscribe to me over there.
This white candle's worked out real well. These green candles burnt for shit. This white one's nice.
I think will burn forever, man.
I like it. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure. All right, everybody.